Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to KUMB TV's Eyes Up, Mother Brown. We are back once again. It's West Ham. It's how the two Uniteds today. West Ham United versus Newcastle United at the London Olympic Stadium. The Hammers hoping to repeat that scoreline at St James's Park earlier in the season. Somehow suspect it might be a little bit more difficult this afternoon. Newcastle themselves going for their third successive away win at West Ham, which they've never done before in their history. Throwing one in there for you straight away. How about that? I'm joined today. It's just the two of us, myself and my good friend Gnome. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. It's one of those ill wind. The reason I'm here is that partly I'm not going to games at the moment whilst my dad's in hospital. And today I would have been down in Hampshire in no BT Sportland at home, but I've got a bad ankle and I can't get down there. So it's kept me awake all night. So it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes me to drop off. So it better be an interesting game to keep me going. So
there you go. Gnome's selling it for us there this afternoon. This is going to be a laugh a minute by the sounds of it. Welcome to everyone joining us on the stream already. Thank you for sticking with us, and hopefully we're going to enjoy the ride this afternoon. West Ham looking to get back into fourth place, having been disposed by Manchester United earlier in the week. Anyway, we are just about 5 minutes or so away from kickoff, so I'm going to pass you straight over to Gnome, who is going to bring us this afternoon's teams. And there's one or two changes for the Hammers.
Yeah, and a couple of absences as well for the visitors. But we'll start with the visitors. We've got in goal Dubravka, then Kraft, Shah, Byrne, Target, Willock, Shelvey, Joe Linton, Fraser, Wood, and Murphy. And for West Ham United, scroll up. In goal, we have Fabianski. Ryan Fredericks comes in, replaces Soufal, who's not actually made the squad. I understand hernia problem there. And we have Dawson, Zuma, Cresswell, Soucek, Rice, Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals, and Antonio. On the bench, we have Yarmolenko, Vlasic, Areola, Noble, Diop, Johnson, Kral, Alesse, and Chesters. You'll notice an absence there also of Lanzini. He also picked up a knock in the last match, and I think David Moyes alluded to that in his press conference without referencing any individual players. So Soufal and Lanzini are the players who are hors de combat, as the French would say, at the moment. So there we go. Yeah, interesting.
Good stuff. I missed all of that because I was furiously trying to catch up on my social media requirements, but so I've not even seen the team. I will be with you in just a second when I've managed to do this. But some changes for West Ham. As we've, as Gnome has said, taken you through the team. One player, Gnome, we were sort of slightly concerned about was Jared Bowen, but good to see him in the team anyway. Yeah,
he was listed as having picked up a knock, but thankfully that seemed to be nothing much. Whilst you were dabbling with FaceTube or YouBook or whatever it is, we had the. I was mentioning it. Soufal has a problem with a hernia, which might account for the fact the torrid time that he was given by Barnes last week. He wasn't exactly at the pace. And Lanzini's also got a knock. As I say, the press conference, David Moyes mentioned there were a couple of doubts, but he wouldn't let on who. So we now know.
There it is.
Zuma comes in for Diop. I didn't think Diop played too bad last week, actually. I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, he was my man of the match, actually. I thought he was outstanding. Bearing in mind all the criticism he's had, he fielded ably.
All three of us gave him man of the match, partly because we thought he was man of the match, but also partly because we knew it had annoyed Pinky, who then came on to us and then said he was man of the match. So
he did. To his credit. We better. Well, the players are on the pitch. I think it's about to begin. It isn't yet, but it almost is. Shall we do some predictions? What are you going to go for today?
2-2.
2-2. Any reasoning behind that one?
We haven't been playing well lately, but I think their absences will count. Trippier is a big miss for them. Sam Maximin is also a very big miss. On the other side, we've got Wood, who may not be all right great, but he always scores against us. So I think 2-2.
Okay, good stuff. On the other side of the coin, of course, Callum Wilson is also known to enjoy a goal or two against West Ham. Unfortunately, he's not in the team today either.
Long-term injury.
So that's some good news. But yeah, you're absolutely right about Chris Wood. Used to score for fun, didn't he, against us when at Burnley? Before that, rather amazing £25 million move to the northeast. What did you make of that one?
Well, it was one of those ones where they knew whether or not it was leaked or how they found out, but Newcastle knew he had a release clause. They wanted a striker; they could afford whatever they wanted, and Howe said, "Well, it's 25 million. Don't care." So Burnley have got—I can't remember the name of the lad they've got in as a replacement who looks a bit useful. So at least on financial terms, Wood was scoring that many for Burnley, really, was he? I don't know, but.
I don't know exactly prolific, was he? But I think he carried them through, didn't he? Weghorst, isn't it? The player that they've bought in for roughly half.
So I think Burnley have got a good deal there, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
totally agree.
Before we came on, I was watching the preamble, and it was hilarious. They were talking about the Eddie Howe effect, that they've won their last 3, and he's obviously introducing things in training. I'm thinking, nothing to do with the fact that they were able to spend however many million it was in the window. The 3 before that didn't exactly. The Howe effect wasn't that prominent until they were able to spend all that money in the window, was it?
So was it Cambridge they got knocked out of the cup by? No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it was it was kind of nobody was actually mentioning the money at that point. It was how this and how that. I'm thinking. Okay.
Indeed. Today's referee is Chris Kavanagh. Any thoughts on that one? Doesn't sound exactly promising. Yeah.
No, and the guy on VAR is the Australian guy who has not exactly covered himself in glory in recent weeks. I think we're underway, by the way, on my telly anyway. It's basically it doesn't really matter now, does it? I mean, they make mistakes. One will make a mistake, and then they'll just cover it up. Sort of Dermot Gallagher the other day trying to justify the sending off of the Brighton lad at Man United when there was a covering defender. And
I didn't see this. I heard it was highly controversial, though.
It was covering defender. It didn't satisfy the criteria for denial of goal scoring opportunity. Simple as that.
Right.
But Gallagher just basically said, I don't think he'd have got there. And he was already there. So anyway, not much happening, as you probably tell, because we're chatting about referees again. Ball in the Newcastle half, and they're just playing amongst themselves at the back there. Now, Ben Rama's actually now pushing up, and it's back to the keeper. Really sort of just sort of sounding each other out at the moment.
Where are we on our time, Gnome?
1 minute, 24, 25, 26.
I'm miles behind. I'm just coming up to 1 minute, so I shall be the replay man this afternoon. Quick hellos before we go back to the game. Hi, Rob. Hi, Andy. Metal in both legs, Elaine. Hobo, Steve. Yes, everything's fine. Thank you very much for asking. Young man's doing all right after his little mishap recently. He's been okay for the last few days. I should give my prediction. I didn't get round to it. I was kind of going to go for 2-2 as well, but bearing in mind you've already gone for that, I suppose we need some sort of difference between us. So I'm going to go for 3-2. I'm not quite sure which way, but I'll go for us. I'll go for a West Ham win. But there you go. 2 minutes gone. West Ham 0, Newcastle 0.
Free kick to Newcastle. It's just 10 yards in the West Ham half. Everyone lined up on the box. It's played in long, and it's allowed to bounce there. And that was. Joe Linton got in there at the back. I think that wasn't very good defending. It's played in long. It was allowed to bounce. Joe Linton actually picked Rice's pocket there at the far post. Rice was about to clear it. Joe Linton nipped in. got the shot in, and that's a good save from Fabianski there at the near post corner to Newcastle. First chance there to Newcastle, taken short. Now played in, cross comes in, back post Joelinton. There's a scramble in there, and it's deflected over the bar again for another corner. It's a shaky start for West Ham. Murphy come in with a shot there. Just having a look. Now, Joelinton is at the back post, absolutely nobody marking it. Heads it in. I think Murphy has a shot. It's blocked. It comes to the edge of the box. I can't quite see who that was. Yeah. Willock was in there as well. I'm not sure which one was which. Anyway, corner again taken short on the right-hand side, Newcastle's right. West Ham get out there well. Ball's held up well, but it's still Newcastle in possession. Out on the touchline now. Cross comes in, but it's blocked by Cresswell out for a throw-in. So, yeah, a little bit of a shaky start there.
Yeah, you could say that. Very, 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 very nervous. Unlike Declan Rice to be caught out there at the back post by Joelinton, who it should be stressed his socks match his hair this afternoon. Very nicely done.
You heard it here first.
There you go.
Finger on the pulse.
I'm trying to get a decent stream. I'm just trying to catch up a bit because I'm so far behind at the moment. I'm not. It's like I'm watching another game.
We're 4 minutes 11 in. Kraft's going to take this throw long. Sends it in long, but it doesn't really get any length on it. It's headed out by, in fact, rarity upon rarity. I think the referee's awarded a foul throw here as it was headed out. So ball away back. It's Cresswell who's going to take the throw. So foul throw. Something they rarely give.
Often.
Yeah, it's, you see foul throws all the time, but you don't see them given. So anyway, it's played down the line and attempt to clear long, but it's head out, and West Ham are gained in American football parlance and maybe 20, 30 yards on that for another throw in on the left hand side. Yeah, I mean, if you watch the number of times a player lifts his back foot when he's excuse me, throwing. It astounds me that it's not given more often, but
do you know what my biggest bugbear is? It's when the goalkeepers take a goalkeeper, drop the ball out of their hands. The amount of times you see a goalkeeper take it outside the penalty box before he lets go of the ball, which of course is a handball, a free kick. It happens probably 10, 12 times every game, and I've never seen anyone pulled up for it, or not for many years. So maybe we'll keep an eye on that today, and the foul throws as well, and just see if that repeats itself. But anyway, no goals so far. I am back to 5 minutes and 17 seconds, which is about 30 seconds behind Gnome, I think. Hello to the rest of you joining us on the stream. Dave, morning chaps, says Dave. Hi guys, says Bob. Hi Bob, good to see you. Polaroid, good to see you back, buddy. And everyone else joining us on the stream. Apologies, we were a little bit late this afternoon, but it was a bit of a late one, wasn't it? No, we didn't decide to do this till about quarter to 11. You sent me a message this morning. I didn't see it till nearly midday. So we are just really about here.
Available till first thing this morning. Let's put it that way. Not much happening. Newcastle playing the ball again around the back, and but they've had the better of the opportunities so far with a couple of corners, and we haven't looked comfortable at either of them. But not much happening so far, really. Other than that, I mean, it's, with 6 minutes 45 seconds played. Let
us know where you're watching the game, everyone. Well, we're just waiting for something to happen. You're watching it at home, you're watching it down the pub, somewhere else. Hopefully all your roofs are still intact after what happened yesterday. How was it down your way, Gnome? Of course, it was quite breezy. You're in the city.
Yeah, down in Chislehurst, in sort of that used to be Kent. I'll come back to that in a minute.
City of Chislehurst.
Long ball played into the box there, but it's still with Newcastle left wing. Ball played down the line now. Cross comes in, and it was too long for anybody in the middle, but a shot came in from the edge of the box, deflected away off Newcastle's own player there, and its shot came in. So I think it was Kraft. No, sorry, 21's Fraser had the shot in, and it came off his own player and deflected out for a throw in. But again, defensively, West Ham not looking all that tight. It's not been a good start so far for West Ham, but not really got a foot on the ball at all. And
not at all, not at all. And one thing that just slightly amused me, I've just seen a graphic come up on the screen. I don't know if we're watching the same stream, but it was about win probability, and West Ham was 49% to Newcastle's 24%, which I'm not sure if they're watching the same game as us, but they're giving a huge bias for home advantage, one would assume. Having looked at that anyway.
I wonder if that person who's got that win probability thing is actually running a book, because if that's the case, I'd like a bet.
yeah, not been a great start at all for West Ham. Newcastle shots from Joe Linton scrambling the box, poked just wide. A minute later, Fraser, that shot there in the 6th minute. West Ham pretty much still to get out of our own half. It's not been a great start for the Hammers so far, but long way to go, and hopefully the goals will come in due course. As I said, for those just joining us on the stream, it's myself and Gnome taking you through the game today. DL Nick might be joining us a little bit later, if possible. Elaine says she's watching. She's at home awaiting the arrival of 2 grandchildren and a granddog. I presume that means from a walk or something like that, Elaine, rather than new grandchildren on the way, which would be quite a coincidence, wouldn't it? But let us know where you're watching the game. Anyway, anyone else? Elaine, of course, our good luck charm. Good to have you on the stream, Elaine. Once again, West Ham United nil, Newcastle nil. 9 minutes gone though.
Fraser's now just gone down. Now there's a ball played over the top. Zuma misses it, and Fraser nods it past Dawson, who catches Fraser, who's basically catches him on the arm. Now that's a foul, and I mean, to me that's a foul. I'm not sure if the referee's given it, but on top of that, well, Fraser's jogging back. Maybe there's an offside in there somewhere.
I think he gave it for the earlier challenge on Diop. Zuma, didn't he? I think there was one, wasn't there, a second before? I think it was a push in the back of Zuma, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit worrying about clear on through. Now, West Ham attacked for the first time. Benrahma on the left-hand side tries to get a cross in, but it's blocked and it's cleared. Benrahma was in promising position there, but Rice is forced to play the ball back to Fabianski, who plays it long. Yeah, it must have been for the earlier challenge on that. Now, Antonio wins the ball in the air. Benrahma gets onto the edge of it. Benrahma squares the ball. Antonio's in there, gets the shot in, but it's blocked. I think Antonio would have been better off leaving that for, might have been Souček outside or Bowen outside him rather. Now, Bowen wins the ball back. Excellent work from Bowen. Plays the ball down right wing to Antonio. Long, low cross played in. And that's better from West Ham. Good little spell there. Antonio's cross was blocked out and cleared for a throw-in. But Antonio was desperately trying to get set for the shot there. But we're back in play. Cross comes in and again headed clear by Byrne. And the clearance is completed long. Rice sends it back towards goal, but it falls on Newcastle. But no, Rice misses the tackle. West Ham come with it through. Zuma brings it through. He's fouled, but referee waves played on. Benrahma plays the ball out to Bowen. Bowen in the box, tries to get the cross in again, but nothing. And Newcastle come away.
Going back to that earlier chance there, Gnome, I've got to say when Benrahma picked the ball up and played it to the right to Antonio, I don't know if you saw it there, but Pablo Fornals was in acres of space on the left-hand side. I think if he had gone the other way, Fornals
I'm wondering if Antonio might have left it as well, because he was always struggling for that. Now, Bowen's played it one side of, I can't see his number there, but one side of the defender and ran around the other, but the defender's body checked him. Free kick to West Ham out on the right-hand side. Bowen's just picking himself up, having been battered a bit. He does get a bit of a battering, Bowen, doesn't he? And just getting his breath back. Fredericks is on the ball. And we're just waiting for it to be taken. So I'll have a sip of this.
Yeah, good. A bit of credit, I think, to our referee just a moment ago. 2 good advantages played there. One for Zoom, I think there was possibly a foul afterwards on Ben Rama, maybe, but
Yeah.
good to see that from Kavanagh. Like we do like to see the game flow, and of course, this is something the
Proper
referees
advantage.
are trying to do a little bit more, or so we're told by the folks at PGMOL, isn't it, this season? But anyway, free kick it is.
Yeah, and anyway, players lined up 6 yards outside the penalty area. Frederick runs over it, ball's played in, long flat cross. It takes a flick there. I thought that was a corner, but well, Souček, I think they're saying Souček got a touch on that. I'm not sure he did. It looked like there was a flick off a Newcastle defender. Let's have a look at it now in slow motion. And in fact, yeah, that really should be a corner. It came off the back of Kraft there. Referee doing a bit of guesswork there after his advantage earlier on, and got it wrong. Goal kick to Newcastle given, and away we go again.
I've just seen it, actually. I've just seen that incident. Souček's pretty furious.
Yeah.
Clearly felt, I mean, he was right, wasn't he? It definitely takes a flick off. Did you say it was Kraft that it comes off?
Yeah.
Just seeing it again now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's Souček hasn't even touched it. It's quite a poor one, actually, from the officials.
Yeah.
It's not even a 50-50, that one. It's quite clear to see, but you'd have to presume that they didn't have the benefit of the angle that we did in terms of seeing it. But anyway, still 0-0. West Ham United nil, Newcastle nil. 14 minutes gone at the London Olympic Stadium.
Souček loses it there, and ball's back in Newcastle possession. Played out wide to the left wing, Newcastle's left wing, but it's back in the Newcastle half now. The last couple of minutes, West Ham have been a little bit more settled, a little bit more on the ball, if you like, and shown a little bit more of an attacking threat. So it's evened out a little bit from those first 5-10 minutes or so, when 6s and 7s, I think, are the numbers we were at. It's calmed down again now, very slow pace and everything. Newcastle playing sort of across the back.
Just very quickly, for those who missed the start of the game, West Ham lining up as follows: Fabianski in goal, Ryan Fredericks at right back, standing in for Vladimir Sufa, who's injured. Dawson and Zuma, centre half, Cresswell left back, Rice and Souček playing in that deeper midfield role behind Fornells, Ben Rama and Bowen, with Miguel Antonio. Who else up top on his own?
Yeah, the stats: Newcastle 4 attempts so far with 1 on target, and West Ham with 1 attempt as such, not on target itself. Long ball played down into the box. Zuma comes across, no nonsense into the plays it into touch under a bit of pressure there from, I'm not quite sure the Newcastle forward was, but so throw in level with the penalty area on West Ham's left-hand side, Newcastle's right. Kraft is on the ball again, and it may be another long throw. So time for you. No, players are closer now, so it's going to be an ordinary throw. Played back to Kraft. That looked like it went out, but Linesman says play on. Antonio's pulled back. Ball played to Antonio. He's pulled back, and that's a free kick. Shah being the culprit on this occasion. Little bit of a sort of bear hug and just pulls him back so that Antonio can't get anything on the ball. So no complaints from anyone there. Free kick and taken long by Cresswell. Antonio's won the ball on his chest but can't keep it in. It's a shame. Nice take on the chest.
The weather like is down there at the moment, no, but it is absolutely bucketing down here at the moment. It sounds like the roof's about to give way. Hopefully,
it's raining here. Looking out there, and
it's hammering down
I
here.
believe it's. I mean, I'm kind of on the same. I'm kind of slightly further east on longitude than the ground, but it was raining there a minute ago.
Trying to see actually.
Now Newcastle playing on the break now, but that's a poor ball which Murphy will have to go back and get. But they're still on the attack down the left wing. Played into Murphy. Nobody's tracked his run. Danger for West Ham. Murphy pulled it back, but behind everyone, and it's gone out to Joe Linton, who's shot basically straight into the crowd. So, but Murphy sort of had to keep the move going there. Played it out wide. Nobody, Declan there caught a little bit napping. Didn't track the run of Murphy, who went inside him. But that was a terrible shot from Joe Linton. Got his head in his hands, and quite rightly so.
Not the first time those words have been uttered since he moved to the northeast for, what was it, 35, 36 million pounds? I think they
part of the problem is he's wearing the number 9 shirt. He's not playing as a number 9. So, that originally was sort of touted as a striker. You know what the number 9 shirt is to them up there. But he's more he's been playing more in midfield and looking a lot better for it of late. Good tracking by Antonio there, puts the ball out for a throw, so it's a Newcastle throw, but prevents some building from the back for a little bit. And
can I just point out that the match thread on our corresponding forum over at toontastic.net is entitled "How's Big Ball Grafting Bastards versus Moyes Cat Hating Bubble Loving Cod Pieces," which is an interesting one. Not sure where the cod piece comes into it, but anyway, we'll be bringing you the best and probably the worst of the Newcastle fans' views as the game goes, and of course, as long as as well as your views on the live chat and
we're on the attack here. Some good work down the left. Antonio put a cross and it's cleared back out to Antonio. Put a low ball in, but again behind everyone. But there was some nice work on the left there between Antonio and Fornals. Now Bowen's in the box here. Oh, does that come off the bar? Tight angle for Bowen if that's a shot, but it's come back out Fornals, plays the ball down the line to Benrahma. I think that may have gone out before Benrahma's clutching his leg there, but lovely ball out from Rice out to the right wing. Headed into Bowen. Yeah, he's had a shot there. It's come back off the bar. Might have taken a slight flick off the Newcastle defender. Ball, the corner's been given here. I thought that might have just gone out before the Newcastle player got it, but corner to West Ham. Cresswell on the ball, on West Ham's left. Now let's see what we can do. Corner comes across, out swinging from Cresswell. Eludes everybody. Players came running in, but nobody got anything on it. Newcastle could bring it away. Willock going down the left, but loses control. Oh, well, let's have a look. Fredericks has been penalised and cautioned there. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, sorry, because I've taken the eye off the ball for a second. Yeah, Willock placed it past Fredericks, and Fredericks just dumped him in the touch, basically. So Fredericks' yellow card, which broadcaster tells us helpfully is his first of the season. There we go.
We saw the very best and the very worst of Ryan Fredericks there, didn't we, in the space of about 60 seconds. First of all, that nice little touch, having received the pass from Rice into Jarrod Bowen, who, as you said there, tried it looked like a very acute angle to be trying that sort of shot from, but very close, hit the bar, closest anyone's come to scoring yet. And then, of course, Fredericks. I mean, it's the classic, isn't it? No, that's file that one under taking one for the team. I think that one.
Yeah. Just West Ham struggling again a little with crosses from the left there. Zuma's clearing header didn't get any sort of distance at all, and ball went straight back in. West Ham got it cleared now, and it's with Fabianski, he's going to clear long now. But again, we don't look great in defence at the moment. So, but we're up top now, and lovely turn from Bowen. Plays the ball through. Antonio's in the box now. Well, I don't think there was anybody in the box to aim for. He's just basically put the laces through it, and that'll take him 10 minutes to get it back. Let's put it that way. But great play from Bowen there. Plays a lovely ball.
Nice.
Plays it
nice to see Antonio in the box there for a change, though, because we've seen it 2 or 3 times so far when we've been in an attacking position. Antonio, as he's wont to do actually on occasions, dragging right out onto the left, and one or 2 occasions actually playing the ball in instead of being in the centre to get on the end of it, which isn't great, really.
He's sticking crosses in you want him to be on the end of. So
yeah, exactly.
Now.
Another effort, as you said, from Antonio there from a cute angle.
Fornals gives the ball away. Promising little touch there. Fornals might have taken a bit of time to turn because we had options out on the left here, but he tried to play down the middle and it went straight to, I think it was Cher in the Newcastle defence. Now, Cher plays it long. That's good play from Zuma, although he's lost out again. Again, a cross comes in. Nobody in the box really from Newcastle. There's one player in the box, but West Ham had a lot of time, but a little bit panicky with the clearance. Zuma's first tackle is brilliant. Wood crosses it in, and Dawson lets it go past him. And Fredericks at the back post there, but there's a rather untidy little header down, stoops low. So anyway, throw into Newcastle, deep on the right hand side. Kraft again is on the ball, but again, it's not going to be a long one.
We sorry to divert from the football. I'm just looking out the window, but we've got snow the size of golf balls coming down at the moment. It's ridiculous out here right now.
We will live up north.
Amazing stuff. Going back to that opportunity for Newcastle. I mean, it's a really strange passage of play there. That ball put into the middle, no one on it at all, and West Ham still kind of, not decisive in terms of clearing it out. It's a very strange game so far. It looks like one bit of class is going to tell make all the difference in that. Neither side really doing enough to show it at the moment.
Yeah, Bowen's just been fouled again, bringing the ball away. He got fouled, then tried to play on, got fouled again, and when the referee blew up, and Bowen rather cheekily tried to take the free kick about 7 or 8 yards forward of where the foul had been given. Rice tries to play the ball out to Fredericks, but it's too high, and that goes straight up for a throw-in. Missed pass from Rice there, collector's item.
Yes, don't see many of those. AGXM saying Antonio looking sharper than he has recently. Fair point. I think he's just not really, had the breaks, has he, in the last few games. I thought, from the stand last week, I felt like he had a fairly decent game at Leicester without really getting any breaks. But you just sense that as a striker, you need one or two to go your way. A little bit of luck, maybe, don't you, along the way there.
He was doing some excellent runs, not always spotted by his teammates, which don't help him. Newcastle on the attack edge of the box. Ball's not sort of coming down particularly, and try a snapshot right on the edge of the box, but that was Murphy sort of just spoons it over the top. So goal kick to West Ham.
25.5 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Newcastle 0. The visitors with the best of it so far, but West Ham still well in the game. West Ham 3 shots so far, 1 on target to Newcastle's 5, only 1 of which has been on target. West Ham 35% possession to Newcastle 65.
Yeah,
apparently. So the BBC say. It sounds about right.
Yeah. Bit of a lull whilst Fabianski's sorting out a goal kick. Taking long. Souček wins the ball in the air, but it doesn't fall to a hammer. Nice turn there from whatever his name is. That's Willock, is it? No. Well, ball's in the West Ham box at the moment. Get a cross in. That's a little bit unlucky for Newcastle because it's a lovely turn from it was Willock. Who got away from everybody, ball down on goal. Played the ball left there to. It's gone down, and they got the cross in. Came off West Ham player, and then came off the guy who crossed it, which was just one of those really unlucky things if you're the person who's done the cross. West Ham on the attack now. Souček, ball out wide. That's Antonio out there. Plays the ball down the line, but that's easily cut out and throw into West Ham. Fredericks will take.
First, I'm going to say it's one of the first times we've seen Declan Rice get turned like that by Willock. Really good stuff for the Newcastle man, but as you said, a bit unfortunate to not get a corner there.
Yeah. Antonio keeps possession. Ball played in now, and it's with Fredericks down the line to Ben Rama, who's offside. That's a bit cool, really.
You know, there's another example of what we were just saying there. No, that's throw-in that West Ham had. Antonio taking the throw-in, throwing it short to Thomas Souček, and just staying on the line, calling for the ball again. We don't really want him there, do we? We need him to be, you know, as a focal point for the attack in the box. Presumably, this is tactical. This is obviously something David Moyes has worked on. So it'd be very interesting to know what's behind that. But you know, from a layman's perspective, it doesn't seem ideal anyway.
Yeah, I quite agree. I mean, Antonio has had his time as a winger and that sort of thing. So perhaps it's instinct more than anything else.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Our score predictions aren't looking too clever right now, are they?
Not at the
4
moment.
goals for you, 5 for me. We need to have a good second half if it's if we're going to get anywhere close to being right. But we're nearly a third of the way through. Still no goals, but West Ham hit the bar anyway. Jared Bowen rattling the woodwork after 20 minutes, closest we've come to a goal so far.
I think the rattling the woodwork thing, maybe I haven't need. Well, they'll show it at half time, no doubt. I need another look at that. But I've got a funny feeling Dubravka might have just got touched for that.
Yeah, I think you could be right.
Yeah. Ball played up there to Antonio, who was always stretching for it. Got a toe in it, but it's just fallen to Newcastle. Who can build up again from the back. But it goes back to Dubravka with Shah under pressure from Antonio there. Antonio's then dropped 10 yards deep, which allows the ball to go back to Shah. So now Fornals is doing all the chasing up there. And Dubravka eventually plays it long out wide. But, if you've got people playing it like that, once he's back the goalkeeper, don't let him start and do all over again by dropping 20 yards, Antonio.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. There's a slight tactical diversion between here and last week because at the King Power, I mean, I suppose it's likely to be that case when you're away, but there was very little in terms of the high press from West Ham against the Foxes. But you've seen it today already, Antonio and Ben Rama and Souček as well to a degree. Are pushing up quite high and trying to limit the opposition in their own half as well. So interesting to see how that one develops anyway.
Yeah, sort of half chance for Newcastle. Their ball was played into the box, but there was a little dummy in there as well, but it wasn't. Nobody fell for it, thankfully. It was well played to get the ball out of defence there. Some nice little play between Rice and Fornals, Antonio. Zuma now brings it forward, left-hand side. Antonio tries to play a nice ball in towards Bowen, but it's cut out. Antonio's got the ball back, though, and he's now running at the defence. Cuts inside, and he's just blatantly body checked, and that will be a yellow card. It's Antonio, a little bit of the bit between his teeth there. He's got the ball under. Once he's got it under control and it's that space to run in, that's fine. But that's craft. It's just basically just handed him off. So free kick to West Ham. Fairly useful position as well. I'm guessing. Yeah, it's about 25 yards out, level with the left-hand edge of the penalty area. Just seeing who's over it now. Dubravka sort of lining up his wall. Players all lined up on the edge of the box. I think Fornals and Cresswell both stood over it. So
just seen the challenge. I mean, it's a ludicrous one from Kraft, but also it's good for us because it puts you on the back foot. Being on a yellow card this early after only a third of the game played. Yeah, again though, Antonio picking the ball up deep.
Yes, it's 1-0. Dawson actually heads it in this time.
You sure? You sure it wasn't another part of his anatomy?
It looks like his head.
Well, let's have a look. I'm just about to see it. I was just going to criticise Pablo Fornals for giving the ball away for that chance Newcastle had a minute or so earlier. But here he's standing over the ball, obviously the foil for Cresswell. And let's have a look. Cresswell delivers it far post. Dawson. That's definitely his head. No question about that. Where's the marking? Gnome, what's going on there?
Who cares? Lovely free kick, great delivery. Yeah. And Dawson's got all the time in the world. Yeah. As I say, unusual because it normally comes off arm, shoulder, back, whatever. But a little bit concerned because as Cresswell was running it to take that free kick, if you look at the replay, Dawson is actually offside, but the Newcastle players drop as Cresswell's running in. And
do you mean Souček?
Was it Souček was looking off?
I think Dawson runs in from the back, doesn't he? I think Souček may have been in an advanced position, but
anyway,
no stopping that. Great finish, great goal for West Ham.
1-0 West Ham. 1-0 West Ham, and Dawson on a roll.
He is, yeah. I'll let you know how many goals he's scored this season now, but he does have a habit of cropping up with the odd occasional important strike, doesn't he? We've seen a few of those this year, and good stuff. Great to see.
But now West Ham win the ball back, and there's a little bit more urgency. It's like they've woken up now, having lovely ball in from Fornals to Souček, but Souček and Antonio getting each other's way. Antonio's gone down there, and have a look at see what happened there. Taken out off the ball there a little bit. Bowen comes back, does a tremendous piece of work there. Now, Antonio's holding his head. I want to see what happened there because I've got a funny feeling he might have been taken out off the ball. Joe Linton is the people that. Oh, Joe Linton's just run straight into Antonio.
It's completely accidental.
Yeah.
But
just forgot to stop running. I think it's probably
it was a bit like that, but hopefully he'll be okay. But just going back to the Dawson thing, just showing how little I know about his prowess in front of goal. That's only his third goal of the season, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, last couple of seasons since he signed for us, he has been chipping in overall with those useful goals at useful times. But
not so much this year though. The only goal prior to last week at Leicester was against Genk in the 3-0 win in the Europa League at the London Olympic Stadium. But good stuff. And of course, he's an essential player for West Ham with Ogbonna out of the team. But great finish. Just seeing a replay of that, and Dubravka's got no chance of stopping that one. Yeah. Question marks for Eddie Howe, I would imagine, at half time, or questions to ask his team anyway about the defending.
Yeah. They're taking their time over Antonio, rightly so, because it's potential head injuries. I bless him. I'd say on other occasions you say he's looking a little bit sort of dazed, but he kind of always looks like that, doesn't he, mate? Bless him. I don't mean that in any disparaging way or anything like that. Antonio, you'd be hard put if he was concussed. You'd be hard put to tell just by looking at him. Let's put it that way.
It's one of those, isn't it? When you're playing the game, if you see the challenge coming, you can brace yourself for it. But clearly, it's come from his blind side, and he hasn't had the opportunity to do that. And he's taken. I mean, Joe Linton's a big lad. Let's be honest, and it's caught him out. But just quickly before we get back to the game, a couple of thoughts from the Newcastle fans. Looks like their errant right back is being blamed for this one, having been booked around 60 seconds earlier. I think it was his body check that conceded the free kick for the goal, wasn't it?
Sorry, Fornals. We say let's not go back to the game, but Fornals teed up a shot for himself, but basically hit it straight at the defender there. So, we also just had another one of those. Glad they didn't look at it too closely. Oh, now cross comes in. Fabianski gets a punch on it under pressure from Wood, but it's not a great punch. But they're unable to do anything with it. And it's Antonio comes back and wins the ball brilliantly and gives it to Rice. That's brilliant work from Antonio. He's come all the way back to. Now we give. Well, it's gone out for a throw in, thankfully. But no, ball came in, and let's have a look at this now. He's under a lot of pressure from. Wood. In fact, Wood actually slaps him across the chest before the ball gets there. So whether or not anything come of it would have been allowed, I don't know. But it wasn't. Fabianski did well to get anything on it, but it wasn't. He didn't get an awful lot of distance. Let's put it that way.
Talking of Fabianski, we had our first one. I was saying earlier about goalkeepers not releasing the ball.
I was just about to say that just before.
Did you see it? Yeah, the one before he got crashed into by Wood there. Clearly a yard or so outside the box before he released the ball. Handball should be given.
Antonio, plays it. Square ball, but it's cut out. It's not a great ball from Antonio. Souček fails to win it back, and Newcastle agree away. Promising sort of areas West Ham are getting in, but then it's that final ball. nice work from Ben Rama to release Antonio on the left there. But yeah, I literally was about to say that when that cross came in, it sort of diverted me from. It was very, very close to the edge.
It was.
There,
it was. Those.
I've got my first Yes album title in there today.
That's gone right over my head. That one, I'm afraid, as a non-prog. Someone did ask earlier though, what's the prog T-shirt today that you're currently covering up?
Sorry, I'll tell you in a minute. But Bowen's on the ball, right wing. Just slightly overplays it, and then the guy gets to tackle him. American band called Discipline, who I had the pleasure of both meeting and seeing in a festival in Italy a few years ago. Cracking band. Love to see them over here. Obviously, COVID's put paid to that over the last couple of years, but good band, really nice people as well. And there you go.
There you go. Gnome confirming that he's receiving a little bit of discipline in Italy a while ago.
No. It was a great holiday, though. Newcastle,
Sure it was.
up my left. Yeah. It was. We had a lovely week out there. The festival's partly run by this friend of ours, Octavia, who's a mad Yorkshire woman who found herself living in Italy and then offering to help out at this festival that's become bigger and bigger. And Prog Magazine's Unsung Hero of the Year last year was Octavia. She's a lovely woman. And
not a prog name at all, of course. Octavia, it's
yeah,
perfectly fitting. I guess I'm sure she's a lovely girl.
Yeah.
I was going to bring you the thoughts of the Newcastle fans, wasn't I? Briefly, after that goal, just very.
Wait a second, balls in that box, shot from the edge of the box is blocked. Newcastle player went down there, but it was one of those ones you'd be very upset if it was given as a penalty, but it probably didn't stop them. Saying long ball played in, Zoom was on the end of it, and Fornals can bring it away now. Plays to Ben Rama, whose first touch lets him down, otherwise he could have played out Antonio. Newcastle can come back again. Well, it's calmed down a bit if you want to do your bit now. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll chuck it in now because it won't be relevant if we leave it any longer. But just a couple of comments from Toontastic.net about that, guys. As I said, the right back Craft getting pelters from the Newcastle fans as a result of that goal. Gemmell saying
in here and forces the corner. And sorry, it was Bowen was played in, running in on goal, and defender just got back to force the corner.
I'll get this in very quickly. Just come in again if something happens.
Yeah.
Gemmell saying it was really dim from Craft. Shame because we've been all right up until that point. Sammy MB saying we'd be better off playing Murphy at right back. How man, hey man. I'm sure I'm not saying that in the right accent, but mine still need to pick him up better. OFT F off Antonio, nothing in there. I'm not sure that's quite accurate. And eWork saying that at least Antonio now knows to stay clear of BB17. No, back to you for the corner.
Corner taken, comes over. Zoom got something on it. Oh, lovely ball now played down to Bowen. He's in the box. He's cutting in, gets the shot in, and it's saved down at the near post by Dubravka. Took a little deflection on the way in. Shot. That's a great little ball inside from Ben Rama to Bowen. Bowen just having a look now. Yeah, little deflection off Joe Linton. Dubravka was able to save comfortably at the near post. But again, West Ham beginning to play a little bit. We've grown into this game a bit.
Yeah, definitely.
After what was a very shaky start, I think.
Yeah.
But Zuma just again sort of mopping up there. He's having a decent game there. Now Ben Rama doing a bit of chasing around, and West Ham forcing Newcastle back to Dubravka, all the way from maybe 10, 15 yards inside our half. So some good pressing there. Now Rice is pressing quite high up now. West Ham beginning to press further up the pitch, but Rice is now just deciding discretion. Better part of Valor drops back, and Newcastle can play it back. The defence now, and it's up on the halfway line.
A little stat for you while we're waiting for the next play to
Newcastle on the attack. Cross goes in. It's a little bit too deep for everybody, but there was danger there. Now Newcastle ball edge of box, ball played, tries to play it down the line inside the box, but that was Willock hadn't read the pass and went harmlessly out for a goal kick. So carry on, mate.
Aaron Cresswell, never provided more than 8 assists in a season before. That's his record at West Ham. That free kick was his 7th from 25 appearances so far this season. So he's well on the way to setting a new record. And of course, he missed a few weeks with injury. So good stuff from our fullback.
Yeah.
That's it.
Have we heard
Just
how
a quick
that
one.
goalpost is yet at Manchester City?
Yes.
Has that goalpost recovered? Head tennis being played at the moment, but a little flick off, and Murphy can try and take the ball down the line. He's got past both Fredericks and Rice, but Rice gets back to put a foot in to give away a corner to Newcastle. Good work there from. I'm getting me Willocks and me Murphys messed up, but that was Murphy. He's got 23 and 28. Of course, if you only see part of the number, you're kind of guessing. Similar hairstyles. So, corner to Newcastle on their left-hand side, West Ham's right.
What's this? Their 5th corner, I think, of the game.
Could be. I haven't been counting. So,
5, I think.
Outswinger comes out to the penalty spot. Falls again to Murphy. West Ham make a meal of getting it clear, but they do now. And now it's a long ball played. Ben Rama trying to chase on it, but Kraft is there to mop up and puts the ball up for a throw in on the West Ham right. But a little bit of a better ball there. Ben Rama might have been in, but I can confirm it's chucking it down there because poor old Moyes there just looks soaked. So now Zuma brings it out of defence. What is it? Wide to Cresswell in the end. And now Rice is looking to no pass on, so he brings it forward a bit more. Still nothing forward of him, so it's played back, ends up back with Dawson and back with Zuma, where it all started a minute ago. Cresswell. Fornell's trying to make things happen. Ball wide out to the right, which Antonio was again playing out on the white ring there, but Antonio wins the ball back. I think they're all stopped thinking it was going to be given handball, but ball back and again in midfield now, not much happening. But we noticed there that Fornells picks the ball up in the middle and he's looking out to play the ball wide right, and Antonio was out there. Similar ball played out. Bowen wins it in the air, but it's mopped up by Newcastle and they can bring it out now.
Have we? Has it been indicated yet how much time we've got added on?
Literally, just as you said that, I saw the ball
marvelous.
For 2 minutes. So literally, as you said, has it been indicated? Crossing from Newcastle, it's missed there by Fraser. Ball's out on the left wing, played down the line. That's a good little move, but has that got in? Yeah, it's gone in. It's a goal. It's a really scrappy goal. 1-1. Not quite sure what happened there, but that's Willock is claiming the credit for it. But I want to see that again to see what happened. Poor header from Rice was the problem there. I think he tried to head it out for a corner and it didn't make it. So we'll have another look at that now.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That's again. That looks shaky from crosses all the way through. And again, it's nice ball played down the line. And let's see what happens. Crosses there. Rice tries to hit it one way and it comes another. And Willock just swings a foot in it and it hits the post. And Fabianski can't get there quick enough to prevent it from going over the line. So
there it is. West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 1. West Ham conceding in the final moments of the half for the second time.
Again.
In 2 weeks. Did it at Leicester last week?
That's a horrible goal. That is really...
And of course, this isn't the first time Declan Rice has made a mistake on that far post. We saw it earlier in the half, didn't we, when he allowed Joe Linton to get in behind him. And again, it's a horrible goal to concede. It's come back off the post and just it's inches over the line, isn't it? When Fabianski's done his best to keep it out, but it's not good enough, and that's going to be the half-time score, I'm afraid, and not good for West Ham. I would imagine David Moyes will be going apoplectic in the changing room at the break, having conceded yet another goal right on the cusp of half-time.
Yeah, we finished the half as we started it, looking very shaky in defence.
Yeah.
A bit of a debate going on between Fornals and Shelby, and Newcastle players getting a bit antsy now, sort of pulling Fornals away from Shelby. One might be worth watching in the second half, because although he's not the sort of dirty sort of player, Fornals can put the odd little leave the foot in when desired. Let's put it that way. So whatever that was about, I don't quite know. But yeah, we started shaky. We came back into it, and the sort of middle chunk of it looked a better team. But then that defensively, I mean, that all stemmed really. It was. I thought Declan was trying to head it out from a corner, but it was a case of Ian Dowie's 50-pence head. He was trying to head it one way, and it went off in completely the opposite direction. And we basically, while we were sort of sleeping, Joe Linton just got a foot in. Not Joe Willock, sorry.
Willock.
And so disappointing end to the half, which had started poorly and got promising.
Yeah, I think you got to say overall it was a pretty disappointing half, full stop, wasn't it? West Ham had that decent spell in the middle third of the half, really, but as you alluded to, started really poorly, really quiet, and then just goal came out of nowhere. I mean, we kind of lived on the edge a little bit, didn't we? There was a couple of times when Newcastle got in, no one in the box or no one on the end of a decent ball in, but West Ham paying the price there, and you can't really say it's anything less than Newcastle deserve, really.
Yeah, I mean, we've allowed them back into it. We just, every time there's a cross comes in, we've not looked comfortable, and I don't know why that should be. Where we've looked comfortable in the past, we haven't today, right from the very start, and it's they've twigged that, obviously. I mean, it started again, from a cross that they messed up, actually. They overhit, but it's almost like once it goes out of the box, we kind of relax. Oh, nobody's got in the end of that. Phew. And no, it's terrible defending, really.
It was. Well, let's have a quick look at the highlights of the first half, going right back to the third minute. I mean, it was almost like a warning sign after 3 minutes when Declan Rice failed to clear the ball at the far post. Joe Linton managed to get behind him and force a save from Fabianski with his feet, just 3 minutes on the clock. And then there was a scramble in the box a few minutes later. West Ham managed to clear that one for a corner. Fraser having a shot deflected wide after 6 minutes. And this is all before West Ham had really got into Newcastle's half. First sign of West Ham actually doing anything came on 11 minutes when Michail Antonio saw a shot blocked. And then Joe Linton once again had a chance, but fired wildly over the bar from outside the box on 18 minutes. West Ham's best chance prior to the goal came on 20 minutes when Jared Bowen was played in by Ryan Fredericks, who in turn received a great crossfield pass from Declan Rice. The England hopeful hitting the bar. Gnome reckons that there was a touch from Dubravka. We're going to hopefully see a replay of that incident. If you saw it or on the live stream, let us know what you thought. Was it straight off the bar from Bowen, or did the goalkeeper get a touch? But either way, West Ham going very, very close to opening the scoring. First yellow card of the game came less than 60 seconds later when Fredericks, who was involved in that move, felled Willock. As we said, took one for the team with Willock playing the ball past him down the flank. Michail Antonio, 22 minutes, tried his luck from an acute angle. David Moyes particularly unhappy, it seemed, with the way he took that shot. And then at the other end, it was Murphy's turn to fire over the bar from about 22, 23 yards. On the half-hour mark, Kraft was booked for a body check on Antonio, and that was the incident that led to the goal. Aaron Cresswell took the free kick from the left-hand side. Thomas Souček initially in an offside position, but obviously not interfering with play. And Craig Dawson, for the second time in consecutive games, second time in a week, came through the pack to nod the ball beyond Dubravka this time. No question that it came off his head. Perfectly legal goal. Excellent finish. West Ham ahead after 31 minutes. Not a lot happened for the next 32 minutes. Sorry, that goal came in. Not a lot happened for the next few minutes. Bowen, probably the best chance that followed that on 41 minutes, cutting in from the right-hand side, a shot low to the right, which Dubravka managed to hold onto at his near post. And then In the first minute of added on time, 2 minutes added on at the end of the half. Willock scoring again. Declan Rice not clearing the ball at the far post. West Ham, Gnome said we'd been at 6s and 7s earlier in the half, and we were once again there defensively looking, pretty ropey. And it was just a pretty ropey goal, to be fair, wasn't it, Gnome? The ball being played across goal, off the post, and just over the line before Fabianski could get his fingertips to bring it back over the right side line. But that was it. West Ham won. Newcastle won at half time. Did we deserve to be level, Gnome, or Newcastle a little bit unlucky to be behind going into that last couple of minutes?
You look at the stats and you see the possession. You think they've had a lot of possession, but again, it's how many saves did Fabianski have to make up to that point? Lots of shots, but catching practice to the crowd behind the goal.
Yeah.
The way it was going, I think that it was going to take something silly from us to leave them back into it.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't because even though we'd looked shaky, they weren't capitalising on that. They weren't until the very end, obviously. A couple of shaky little blocks and all that, but I'm guessing that. I think probably level is probably the right score at the moment.
I tend to agree with that.
Purely not because they've done an awful lot, but more for the fact that we've done it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And if you keep doing it to yourselves, you can't expect to go in ahead.
No, that's true. That's true. Well, look, let's just go back briefly to the first goal. We're just seeing some reruns on the TV monitors. It actually looks like it's Jacob Murphy who's at fault for that one there. We couldn't figure out, could we, how Dawson was afforded the freedom of the London Olympic Stadium to get that header unchallenged. And it looks like Murphy's initially marking on the edge of the box, makes a run back with Dawson, but is kind of blocked off by his own defenders, which allows Dawson the opportunity to get in and have that free header. Yeah, so a little bit fortunate perhaps.
Dawson goes around the outside there of I think it's Byrne, and Murphy's got no way of getting inside, getting between Dawson and Byrne, because Dawson makes that. Let's say Byrne's blocking him off. Dawson's made that run so close to Byrne, there's no gap to get in between the two. Now we're just looking at this partial goal again now. I mean, Declan
Rice doesn't come out of it very well, does he? There, he seemed to be caught in two minds, didn't he? Whether to head it out of the box or to go behind. In the end, it was neither, really, wasn't it? And it's unfortunate. It's
I think he knew what he wanted to do, but the execution, it was a little bit like Cresswell, the penalty he gave away, where he's gone to sort of head it one way and he's completely miscued the header. And in Cresswell's case, he miscued the header and it's gone up the arm. Whereas in Rice's case, he's got to head it that way, but it's because he's moved his head before the ball's got there. It's come off that way. And, he knew what he wanted to do, just completely messed up doing it.
A rare error from our skipper. It doesn't make many, but, everyone's going to make a mistake from time to time. It's going to happen. Just unfortunately, it's happened today. Said Benrahma coming in for a bit of stick on the live chat. It seems Hobo and Simon Parker actually saying Benny non-existent again. Frederick's not good enough, and I'm sure I saw a couple of other people. That's the only one I could actually see. So he's not coming in for a lot of stick. It's just Simon Parker and Hobo. I think not particularly pleased with his performance. What do you make of Benrahma so far? I mean, he's showed a couple of little glimpses, hasn't he, of individual skill without. Again, there's no end product today, is there? And this has always been the problem, isn't it, with Benrahma? Occasionally, he's done all right, but we see it so often. Good work getting towards the box, then the final ball's lacking, or the final, the shot that follows it up.
I think that's happening. Let's say the front 5 or 6 players at the moment. Antonio's got in a good position and squared the ball, and it's squared behind players. Not quite. It's been the story of the last couple of months, really. When we've been going for, we've got into good positions, but that last ball has been terrible. And Benrahma's no better, no worse than anyone else in that at the moment. he's we've seen it from Antonio certainly. Souček's not really looked at the races. That couple of times he's got the ball in midfield, looked up to see what he's going to do with it, and lost it while in between getting the ball and looking up. He just seems half a yard off the game at the moment. It's. I mean, reading stories of Ron Greenwood coaching and Lyle coaching, and you would always tell players that as the ball's played to you, you should have a sort of mental picture in your head of where everyone is and what you're going to do once that ball comes to you. And he's not getting that mental picture until after the ball's come to him and he's been relieved of it. So,
it's a good point. Yeah, I remember having a chat with Trevor Brooking once, and that was the thing that I took away from it most, was that he would say, you'd always have a picture in your head. You'd always know where the ball was going to be played, or you know where your teammates are. You just get an idea of where it's going to be when you receive the ball, where everyone's going to be, so you can make that pass a little bit quicker. Yeah, because obviously that half a second makes all the difference. Anyway, there you go. Should we have a look at the KUMB.com forum just very quickly to see? I just have a couple of comments. This one, I've got to say, this one made me laugh, from Beavis. He says, my girlfriend has the figure skating on the other channel, and it's a bizarre contrast between that level of perfection and our elite footballers who can barely kick a ball to each other. There you go. The Olympics all happening. Have we won a medal yet? Great Britain won any medals?
It's like Strictly Come Dancing, isn't it? It's not a real sport, is it?
Not my cup of tea, but I'm sure there's people who enjoy it. Stone Hammer says, is it just me who thinks we're playing well? Antonio looks better than usual. Big boo-boo from Rice, but I'm cautiously optimistic for the second half. Lovejoy says, it's diabolical complacency throughout our side, and that's down to one bloke. It doesn't say who. Any guesses? I have no idea who he might be referring to.
Canterbury.
Don't know. Lovejoy, if you're watching this, let us know who it is that you're complaining is responsible for this diabolical complacency. We don't know. Bubbles Fortuna, touching on that game at the King Power Stadium last week, says, we've ceded the initiative to them, same as we did against Leicester. I fully expect 20 minutes of being completely battered by them until they eventually take the lead and we wake up again. Gegsy says, I thought we played all right, to be honest. Newcastle have won their last three. They'll be confident expecting to win. We controlled most of that half, had the best chances, and only scored because of a mistake. Not sure we've controlled the half. Would you go along with that? No?
We did in spells. The problem is it's all very well controlling a game for 89 minutes. If you then give away a goal in the 90th, it's it's control is just part of the game. It's making the most of what you've got when you are under that control. I was a little bit upset. I was just waiting for them to show the Bowen hitting the bar thing again.
Not come yet, has it? Yeah, I've been keeping an eye out for that.
No, obviously got a few adverts to sort of fit in to make their money, I suppose. But it's I mean, it's all, you can say, oh, we had all that game, but at the end of the day, I mean, we second half we were well on the back foot, for example, against Crystal Palace. But during the spell where we did control the game, we scored 3 times. Yeah. So you can control things, but you don't score while you're controlling it. It's not and we're getting the other side of that in this game. So, but we played well in spells, but we need to sort of those spells need to be longer so it covers nearly all the game rather than just sort of patches either side of half time or patches in the middle.
Isn't that the story of I was going to say the last few weeks, but you can go back really to Christmas, can't you? There hasn't been a game where we've really played well for the full 90 minutes, is there? I'm struggling.
No, we have been off the boil since before Christmas. I guess it's a good thing that we're still picking up points here and there, sort of thing. But sooner or later, you're not going to be able to just rely on brute force and ignorance to get you through games. You're going to actually have to start playing well if you want to be sort of pushing for European slots. So teams are just coming out now. Teams are just coming out now. I just don't think there's any changes so far. Doesn't appear to be any substitutions for either side at the moment, but I'll confirm that in a minute when the camera pulls back.
Okay. While we're waiting for the players to come back, let's just quickly touch on.
No, there is a change.
Right.
Fredericks has been replaced by Johnson.
Interesting. Maybe because he's on a yellow, perhaps. And you know the best of Newcastle's come down that right side, isn't it?
Yeah. So straight swap, obviously. Johnson can sort of play either side. Down there. So
very, very quickly, Michail Antonio, you know, we touched on it a few times in that first half, didn't we? Saying that he was playing a little bit deeper than you'd expect a number 9, maybe playing a little bit wider. We looked at the throw-in where he took the throw-in and stayed out wide. Are you happy with your centre forward playing in those positions? I mean, it's obviously a tactical directive from David Moyes to play a bit wider. Maybe he's pulling the defence out. Who knows? What are your thoughts on that? Are you happy with that? Are you seeing more from Michail Antonio today, that as was suggested on the KUMB forum?
We're underway, by the way. But I guess it's the case sometimes when you're playing the ball long from the back, if you've got a goal kick or a clearance and it's going to go long, then you expect Antonio to pull out wide because he's going to be more likely to win the ball out if it's in the air out wide. But and I don't mind him running onto balls, sort of to chasing down people like that, you know, maybe from the middle. But there are a number of times, as you say, where he's been the one out on the wing, where he's been on the wing, and you're looking at balls going into the centre, where you want Antonio to be the one in the centre. I don't know. Newcastle on the attack, ball played in. Again, it's allowed to bounce. Clever little header back from Cresswell to Fabianski, though. That was a little bit more assured. Now Rice can bring it away. Goes into Newcastle half, checks his run, though. Still on the ball, plays it inside to Antonio, who manages to hold it off to... now Benrahma plays it outright to Johnson on the right-hand side. Johnson puts the ball in first time, but it's blocked. West Ham corner, though. Some nice move out of defence there. Johnson jogs back there, but nice move there from West Ham. Good, a little bit of football. So it's a corner on the West Ham right. As everyone's sort of queuing up. Zuma's in there, Dawson's in there. Full sweep. We're getting corner comes across. Bowen takes 6-yard box. Rice plays the ball back to the edge of the box. It's played in. Takes a flick. It's gone wide. Bowen back out on the ball now. He's taking his player on. Clips across in. Again, Newcastle head clear. Benrahma on the ball now. Plays it square to Cresswell. Out left to Rice. Rice plays it inside to Antonio. Square to Zuma, who's stayed up there at the moment. Rice on the ball now. Rice gets across here. Diagonal cross. Souček on the end of it. Dawson gets the shot in, but it's blocked. Good header from Souček there. And West Ham turning the screw a little bit now.
Good start. Good start.
Rice combines with Benrahma. Benrahma on the ball, looking again to see who he can deliver it to. Tries to play 4 nails in, but the little flick doesn't come off, and Newcastle come away with the ball. Although Cresswell wins it back. So Rice now looking again for options. Plays a nice ball inside there to Fornals. We've got Antonio out on the wing there again. Rice again. Nice little Rice on the ball again. Nice little spell of possession here, but West Ham not cutting it, and Newcastle forcing all the way back to Fabianski. Fabianski plays it long, but Antonio's presumed he was offside there, wasn't going to go for it, and it's back with Dubravka in the Newcastle goal.
Good start for the Hammers, Gnome. A couple of efforts there. Blocked. What was interesting to see Craig Dawson on the edge of the 6-yard box, staying up like he did. I mean, he did that at Leicester, didn't he, last week? Stayed up and proved a bit of a menace in the opposition box. But good stuff from West Ham. Better start.
Dawson plays into Antonio, who comes away with the ball. That's 4 nails. Cross in. Turn from Bowen. Still got the ball. Tries to feed Antonio in there, but it's all very, very tight. And Newcastle player's gone down with his head in his hand, so the referee, it's target. Referee instantly stops the game. Not quite sure I did that, but lovely takedown from. Well, there's nothing in that. That's a player going down the box, holding his head to get the play stopped. Target tries to head the ball as Bowen takes it down and kind of heads the underside of Bowen's forearm, really brushes it, and the fact he's still down is just milking it, making sure that it's not looked at.
Is Target the lad that came from Villa?
Yeah. They signed
loans,
Dino and he decided he didn't want to play second field. He's on loan from Villa at the moment.
That's it, yeah.
But somehow they'll be going back if Dino settles in any way, shape or form.
But anyway, 5 minutes gone in the second half here at the London Olympic Stadium. Good start from West Ham. Been putting on all the pressure. No doubt a boot up the backside from David Moyes at half-time. They conceded that goal right on the edge of half-time in the first added-on minute. But good stuff from West Ham. We're looking forward to the next 40 minutes. Hopefully another goal or two for the Hammers. Let us know how you think it's going in the live chat on YouTube or, of course, on the KUMB.com forum.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a drop ball, which alleviates all the pressure we were putting on. Newcastle can try and build something. Long header, Zuma deals with it. Souček wins the second header and plays the ball nicely at Rice. He can bit of space to run into. Again, ball played at Benrahma, who was trying to play it around the corner to Antonio, but again, his touch really let him down there. Another promising position we get into, just sort of fades. Can I come over the ball there? Very scrappy at the moment, and now Souček's used a bit of his weight there and has got the ball. And ball play through. Antonio trying to get through, burst through two Newcastle defenders there, but I think the pair of them were just a bit too strong for him there, and Newcastle can bring away. Joe Linton on the ball now, running at goal, plays the ball out to the left hand side. Try to get across him, but Johnson blocks and it's cleared out for a throw in. Excuse me.
Yep. Fairly, Newcastle beginning to find their feet in this second half after a really good start from West Ham, really putting the pressure on, but unfortunately not able to profit from that dominance in possession so far. But better from West Ham, looking good. Just going back to that change, no, what do you make of that? Frederic's been hauled off at half time. Maybe there was a row, who knows? But didn't look like he was playing that bad, did it, in the first half? Of course,
there was a lot coming down that side though, and maybe he's got a knock. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. No. But I think Fredericks is possibly more adept of the two at going forward, and I think maybe that it was felt we needed a little bit more defensively there. Fredericks wasn't getting an awful lot of help from on that side from whoever's playing in front of him there. Now West Ham come out on the break. Fornals plays a lovely ball there down. Bowen's on the attack, gets to the edge of the box, goes wide, tries to get across him, but he can't. It's blocked out. Good move, but then Bowen, I think, made the wrong choice there and tried to go around the outside, and maybe a little bit more direct might have given Newcastle a few more problems. Newcastle can bring it away now. Murphy on the ball. He's caused a few problems down this side, but Souček does well, gets a lovely foot in there, and that'll go for a West Ham throw. Woods shoving Dawson off the pitch just to out frustration, I think, because he wasn't going to be able to get at it. But that won't have impressed Dawson, and would very well be advised to watch his step, I think, from the look that Dawson just gave him. Throw it to West Ham, right-hand side. Johnson will take.
Quick hello to Mark English while we're waiting for something to happen. Good to see you on the stream, Mark. Hope you're doing well.
Right, Newcastle now. Willock had a shot there, blocked on the edge of the box. And Rice nearly played it. It's Cresswell had trouble there, but Newcastle win the ball back. Deflected shot, and it's meat and drink for Fabianski. But we're sometimes we're hanging on to the ball well, other times we're not. And again, Rice, who's not had the greatest of games today, the ball he played was very short there, and played his teammate into trouble a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I guess by the the really good, high standards that we're used to, Rice is not having a great game. It's not having a bad game, but it's by his standards, this is not one of his better ones.
Yeah, he's not quite been up to his usual standards, as you say, has he? So far, a couple of little errors. Obviously, the one leading to the goal, the most notable one, the header that went awry. But I'm sure he's going to pull something out of the bag, Kidderminster style, as time goes on. Well, we can certainly do it anyway, because this is a game we really need to win, isn't it? I mean, in terms of our European aspirations, not just Champions League now. The teams are behind us are piling up those games in hand. I think after this afternoon's game, or this game, Arsenal will have 4 games in hand on West Ham now, and they're 3 or 4 points behind.
Yeah. Some good work out on the left here. Sorry, West Ham bring the ball away. Fornell's playing the ball inside to Cresswell. Plays Antonio does well, hold on onto that ball. And Antonio again out on the left wing, and plays the ball back to Rice. But again, Antonio's pulled up, made himself available, which is no bad thing. Did well hold on to it. And we've got Johnson on the right hand side. Not going anywhere though. He's got traffic ahead of him, so he'll go back to Dawson, who'll go back to Zuma. He'll just play Cresswell in, I assume, yeah. And we can go again. Dawson put under pressure by Joe Linton there, and it's gone back to Fabianski. So he clears long. Well won by Bowen again. But I think one of the problems we get is when the ball's played out long to Bowen, in the air on the right-hand side, for example, I don't think anyone expects him to win it. So a number of times he actually wins the ball and it just drops and nobody's looking for the flick on or anything. It's happened a number of times recently. It just did again there. If somebody's been thinking, Bowen might win this, I mean, Antonio got a bit close to it. But anyway, Newcastle attacking now. Murphy again. Gets to cross, or tries to get across in, but Souček blocks it, and it's gone out for a Newcastle corner. On the Newcastle left, our right.
Well, while we're waiting for that to come in, we are rapidly approaching the hour mark. So do let us know on the live chat what you think in terms of what changes you'd like to see in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Would you like to see any at all? Do you think David Moyes should just keep things as it is for now? We're holding our own. It's very close. Do we need to make changes? If so, let us know who you think you'd like to see on. Who do you think's not really at the races today? Let us know in the live chat. Newcastle corner.
It's scrambling around in there, but we've managed to get clear. Now Benrahma wins the ball. It's gone down the line a bit. Now Antonio's fouled surely there. It's Newcastle tried to sort of pretend nothing's happened and take the ball away up the pitch, but Fraser comes sliding in, and ball was kind of incidental to everything there. But anyway, West Ham now on the right wing with Johnson. But again, I mean, they've got Johnson sort of being well shepherded out there. He's always got 2 or 3 ahead of him. So it always has to go back. Johnson now has a bit of space, but again, not for long, and it's filled. And every time Johnson gets it, it's going back inside to Dawson. Now, nice ball in from Fornells didn't quite get on the end of it, and Newcastle bring it away. That potential, but that's a nice ball inside, but well read there by Zuma and cleared to halfway line. Newcastle have it back, and it's they'll build from there. But good defensive play there from Zuma. That nice ball in, to say Fornells, if he could have just got something on it, maybe have played someone through. Some
Okay.
good work there from
Let's
Antonio, by the way. Not that anybody would have noticed it particularly, but with 4-0
back.
down in, with 4-0 down deep in the Newcastle half, he did a lot of good tracking back there.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, it was very, very good to cover there. But let's just have a quick look briefly at what the our fellow hammers are saying on the KUMB.com forum. We were talking about potential changes in the next few minutes for David Moyes and the team. Evil C saying that the lack of competition for places here really does show. We've always several players that have been way off their best today, but there have been no viable alternatives. And I mean that's the general tone that Ironing Ball saying I want to see Vlasic as he's a better steward of the ball, but he'll take less risky options. But generally speaking, people sort of a bit concerned. We haven't really got those options, and this is the same thing we keep coming back to week in, week out, isn't it? No, but back to the game.
There was a cross came in there, and Johnson did a marvellous defensive header as Joe Linton came in, and sorry, I was just wondering what they're just showing the goals in the bottom left-hand corner. No, as the cross came in, Johnson, excellent header. Joe Linton just got there half a second afterwards, and there was a clash heads. Both players went down. Game immediately stopped, and
that's a nasty one. That is a nasty one.
Yeah. So they'll take a minute or two just to make sure the players are okay here.
What is the protocol now with these clashes? No, are they? Because obviously, the thing about concussion and that. What if the players deemed to be okay to continue? That's fine. They don't need to go off for any specific time.
I mean, they basically run on. They assess them, and the medics know their job. Obviously, they know they can tell. There are telltale signs about how the eyes look and everything. I think both players are okay. Both have got the side. Oh, the game's been restarted with both players coming back on the touchline there. So, but you do have, of course, an extra substitution if there's a concussion. I think that's still in place anyway. I know it was brought in as an experiment, but it's a good idea. Safety being paramount. But the problem is, and as we've seen earlier on, that's a good interception from Zuma, by the way, who's failed. Still retains the ball. And good work from Zuma there. Referees allowed the advantage because West Ham's still in play. The problem is that because the head injuries are so sort of dangerous and important, if you like, as we saw Target do earlier on, it's quite easy for a defence to stop play simply by somebody sort of putting their head in somewhere, not really getting a touch, but clutching it going down. Because
we've seen a bit of that, haven't we, in games before this season, once or twice, where it's not looked particularly dangerous, but the referee's obviously got no other alternative but to stop the game if a player goes down clutching his head. They have to do it.
Yeah.
We're in the final third.
We saw with Target, there was absolutely no way that he was seriously injured, but nobody could take any chances. Now, a long ball played out towards the left. Now, Antonio wasn't out on the left wing, although he was left of centre. But Fraser got caught between Antonio and I think it might have been Fornells out there, and nodded it out for a throw into West Ham. So it's deep in territory. Antonio's got it back. Antonio plays the ball down the line to Benrahma. Plays it inside to Antonio. Plays back to Benrahma. That's asking too much of Benrahma, though. But we win the ball back. Get out left-hand side. Fornells down the line to Antonio. Antonio takes a sweep to get the cross in. Misses the ball completely, and it goes out for a goal kick. A rueful smile from Antonio there.
Oh dear.
What it was in fact that he went to take a swing with his left foot and accidentally touched it away with his right. So tackled himself there. Best tackle.
Just prior to that, there was a lovely little touch from Antonio. I don't know if you saw it, where it was the ball just before he played the ball into Benrahma that he couldn't get, but he gave the defender the eyes one way and played it the other way. It's superb. But yeah, I've just seen it now. Yeah, even to be fair, even Antonio's had a little giggle at that one, hasn't he? It's kind of reminiscent of that Masuaku. Yeah, I mean, he's kicked it with his right foot, hasn't he? And it's one of those Sunday League, special that every one of us has done at some point in our amateur careers, and you've been roundly laughed off the park for doing. But not many of us get the opportunity to do it in front of 60,000 people, that's for sure. But anyway, 25 to go. No, we need a goal. We need a goal soon.
Johnson now on the right wing tries to get across and it's deflected, and Joe Linton can bring it away. Oh, gets a bit lucky there and loses Souček. Now Newcastle got an overload on the left hand side here. Woods on the ball, tries to cut in, plays it square back to Joe Linton, plays it left hand side to Willock. But West Ham harrying and not getting the foot in though, and Willock gets a shot in, but it's always going wide. Tries to curl one past the far post. Fabianski dived, but I don't think it's that close. Let's have a look. No, it's a save. I thought he touched it. Anyway, now Ben Rama looks offside there. Oh, we've still got the ball. It has been given in the end. Ben Rama, it's one of those ones where they delay it, and then when somebody plays on, it's well offside. There's no question of it. But I mean, that's one that why don't you put the flag up straight away? It's not going to be a question of maybe he wasn't. He's 2-3 yards offside. So that was interesting because from one angle it looked like Fabianski might save that shot from Willock, but maybe I'll just sort of bearing in mind that I haven't slept for God knows how many hours. I maybe just start to see things and have hallucinations. So
allow for those magic mushrooms, son. They're not doing you any good,
24.
I don't know, you prog rockers. You must have to be on some of the list of some of that music, I tell you. God, honestly.
I've never touched anything like that. Genuinely.
There you go. You heard it here first.
I've even smoked
a drug-free gnome.
A single cigarette of tobacco, never mind anything else.
Well, that's probably a much wiser choice, I'd say, out of the two. But anyway, we're rapidly approaching the last 20 minutes or so. I did ask a few minutes ago about substitutions, what you guys would do if given the opportunity. Polaroid says that I'd like to see Vlasic come on centrally for Ben Rama, more in hope than expectation, though. And Hobo says Ben Rama or Fornals could go for me and I'd get Vlasic on. To be fair, what else have we got on there? I mean, looking at the bench today, a quick reminder, West Ham attacking wise, we've got Yarmolenko. All right, scratch that one. Vlasic, of course, an option. Young Dan Chesters from the under-23s is in the side, and then Mark Noble and Alex Carlo aren't really going to give you an awful lot in the final third. Ben Johnson, of course, already on Agielise, Issa Diop, and Areola at the in goal. So not a lot once again, and we keep hammering this point, don't we, about the January transfer window, but. David Moyes may say that he'd rather keep his money in his pocket, and I think the general consensus is that he's covering for the board a little bit when he says that. But this is a problem, and it's costing West Ham. We just do not have the options on the bench, and this is the perfect situation, isn't it? When you want to bring someone on who can maybe offer you something a little bit different. David Moyes is looking around it over his shoulder. He's got Vlasic and Yarmolenko, who just isn't the player he was, even 3 years ago, but. Back in his prime, and it's a problem, though, isn't it, for West Ham? We haven't got those options. We can't now, in these situations, bring on a game changer. We just don't have one.
Well, sorry, just looking at a promising position again, where Ben Rama did some fantastic tracking back work to win a ball, pick somebody's pocket there. Rice went forward, played it into Antonio, who tried to find Ben Rama out on the left wing. Terrible ball, though, easily cut out. Just before that, the ball was played up to Antonio, and it was just to say the player was all over him doesn't do it justice. Now Antonio left wing now, and he's got acres to run in. This could be promising. Come back to that. He's got to the edge of the penalty area, cuts in, shoots. Tell where it's gone by the tone of the voice. Another Rosette effort. But yeah, where the ball was played up to him, he had, I think it was Cher was basically just wrestling into the ground, and got nothing for it, and you could see him having a go at Kavanagh. Yeah, something along the lines of, feel free to join in, mate. Yeah, but terrible shot there though.
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
Just want to keep an eye on Jared Bowen for a minute, because a couple of, it's about 30 seconds ago on my stream, but live it will be a couple of minutes. But just went to ground clutching his right ankle, I think it was, little collision with Joe Linton, and limped off. He seems to be okay now, but just one we might want to keep an eye on for a bit, just to make sure there's no lasting effects. But anyway, 20 and a bit to go. We need a goal. We need a goal.
Just before that, there was a dangerous-looking ball played into the box. I just have to say this. Zuma came across, stepped across with a superbly timed tackle to put it into touch to wipe away the danger. I think it was when you were talking about substitutions. But it was, I think Zuma's having a very good game today, actually, for me. He's... sorry, just saying, Joe Linton now comes up. Just Joe Linton.
What did you make of that last week at Leicester Gnome with Zuma? I mean, we saw him warm up, didn't we? And then, throw a couple of buckets of water over his head. Do you think that was a genuine illness, or do you think maybe it was? There was clearly something wrong with him, but you think maybe David Moyes was covering for him a little bit when he said that he was ill, because he clearly looked stressed before the game, and given what he'd been through in the few days leading up to the match, you could perfectly understand him.
That's one of these ones I guess we'll never know, really, will we?
Yeah, of course.
They said he'd been up all night. Now, whatever the reason for that, you've got to take that at face value. So, whatever the underlying cause of it, he clearly wasn't fit to play. So
no, he wasn't. No, I just wonder whether it was psychological rather than physical. It certainly looks a little bit like that to me.
Yeah, if you're throwing up, you're throwing up, sort of thing. I was Tottenham. And corner for Newcastle there was cleared, and it's gone all the way back to Dubravka with Fornals doing the chasing. But again, it was another one where the cross, we didn't look particularly comfy from the cross, and it was a little bit of a slice clearance from Johnson. But Newcastle now beginning to sort of enjoy a bit of possession, coming forward on their right hand side. Tries to play one, so that's just going to go out for a goal kick. Goal kicks for West Ham.
Are you surprised that Eddie Howe's not made any changes yet? No, at least I don't think he has. My stream's been a bit up and down the last 10 minutes. Well,
we're about to. Never mind Eddie Howe. Ben Rama's coming off, and I did see. Vlasic will come on for Ben Rama. So we've gone for the half there. 22 being replaced by 11. So.
The only option, as we were just saying, wasn't it, a few minutes ago, that is the only option that David Moyes has got. It's a straight like for like, and it must make it easier for opposition managers as well, I'd imagine.
Ben Rama doesn't look a happy bunny, has to be said. He's headed straight down. Well, is he going down? No, he is going up the steps. But I haven't got the volume on my telly or anything like that, so perhaps there were cheers or something when he was taken off. I don't know, but he was looking behind him and sort of shaking his hand.
David Moyes was urging him off, wasn't he? He's telling him to hurry up.
It's Moyes and him and Moyes is shaking his finger at him, and Ben Rama. Well, there's a story there, isn't there? So now nobody's going to get that. Johnson thought long ball cleared down towards the Newcastle end. Johnson thought about running for it, and then thought, now, quite rightly, and it's gone through at Dubravka. So we're just coming up. We got 17 left at the moment. It's a little bit later than Moyes normally does. He's normally keen on his 66-minute sub, isn't he?
Very interesting little exchange between Moyes and Ben Rama there, and clearly upset the player, but I don't think that's going to do him any good.
No.
Being
there's only one winner of that argument, isn't there? So,
exactly. Moyes isn't going to stick for any of that, especially when the player hasn't exactly, to use that old phrase, pulled up any trees in this game. And not been at the races at all. But anyway, we are rapidly approaching the last 15 minutes. It's still West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 1. I think we're going to get a late winner here, Noma. I'm not quite sure who it's going to be. Pretty much what I said at the start. I think it's going to, it's been that tight game we predicted, isn't it, really? And not been a great second half so far, anyway.
No, for either side, really.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Newcastle, last 5-10 minutes, have had a lot of possession.
Yeah.
Going forward, but really it's sort of all petered out really just outside our box at the moment. They've not, so that throw in goes into the box now, and again they're not getting any further than a cross comes in now, and Wood will nearly gets on the end of it, and that's worrying. It's gone out to Joe Linton, another cross in, and Dawson heads clear, and ball played in, but that's a poor ball, and Rice plays a lovely ball out now to Vlasic. Vlasic he's gone past the player who's just upended him. Yellow card all day long. Now, who is that? Because if that's Kraft again, then
it'll be red.
No, but it isn't. No, I just wondered who it was, but it's Fraser.
Just before that, we saw. I'm just seeing it because my stream's quite away behind yours, but it's a really good clearing header from Craig Dawson. Ball coming from the right hand side, and Dawson did really, really well because it was a certain. I think it was a certain goal if he had missed the header, but did really well. As Noam says, that's the third booking of the game, isn't it? Willock.
All three similar challenges, aren't they? Sort of.
Actually, they are, aren't they? They're very, very similar.
Now,
and, no question about that.
Down the line to Vlasic. Vlasic on the left-hand side of the box tries to make room for the cross. Gets blocked. Vlasic is letting the ball. Still got the ball. Now Cresswell dummies across. Ball's played back to Antonio out there. Now there goes the cross. Where's Antonio? He's the one who's crossed it. And it's gone straight into the arms of Dubravka, who on another day might have been under some pressure from someone like, say, I don't know, Antonio.
Just not West Ham, not at the races right now. We need a bit of a lift. But Vlasic, I mean, early days, but he's looked pretty bright, hasn't he, since he come on? Obviously, drawn the foul there and give us a little bit more. But I mean, I'm very interested to see if there's any comeback for that Ben Rama situation, because you don't normally see that. I mean, we've been big, haven't we, on the spirit and the unity in the club this season and generally under Moyes, and we've not seen that for a while. A player sort of mouth off at the manager. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Now, loose ball is picked up from Bowen, plays to Rice. Rice looking for something ahead of him, not much happening. Cresswell back to Rice. It was a good little interception there from Bowen, and thought we might be able to sort of break quickly on that, but we're a little bit too ponderous when we win a ball back like that. Now, Johnson plays the ball down the line. Bowen's trying to get there, but Byrne is basically blocking him out. Now we've got now Fraser, who managed to hurt himself in taking Vlasic out a few minutes ago, is now down. It looks like they're going to bring on, I think that's Almiron, isn't it? Fraser is looks like he'll take no further part anyway. He's hobbling off. Almiron's over by the touchline, and that's confirmed now. I know Fraser's just getting off at the nearest possible section, but.
Just having a quick look at the KUMB forum just to see what people made of that incident between Moyes and Ben Rama. Ben Rama showing a little bit of dissent at being replaced. I'm not quite sure why, because he hasn't really offered anything yet again this afternoon. But Pete 647580 says Ben Rama can pull off a long face as long as he likes, but he's offered nothing. And that's really the consensus. I don't think there's a lot of sympathy for Ben Rama, and you don't really want to start doing that, Gnome, do you? Unless you've actually been providing and being a big part of the team. Dodger also saying I'm a big fan of Benny, but he's been ineffective today and was rightly brought off, and he should accept it. I mean, it's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can understand it if you're sort of playing well and looking like scoring and things like that. And just when you think you're going to score, again overhit cross from Newcastle, by the way. But I can't see what Ben Rama had any cause to complain about.
No. And again, didn't help himself with the petulant manner in the way he came off. Moyes was urging him to come off quickly, and he was just strolling over to the touchline, which isn't going to endear him to his manager, his teammates, or dare I say it, the supporters that have been very patient, I think, with him since he arrived at the club.
Moyes was himself very angry with it because I was shaking his finger at him. Nice little interception from Souček there, but it's come back and Souček's now out of place. But again, Rice started beginning to get the odd foot and knee in. Now, Fornals plays the ball back to Rice, plays it into Johnson. Nice looking ball, but it forces Cresswell back a little bit. Been nice if that could played into his path a little bit more. But West Ham now with possession. We've got 10 minutes exactly to go before plus stoppage time, of course.
Okay.
Now,
just quickly coming back to that Ben Rama thing. Apparently, that's the 18th occasion on which he's been substituted this season. So perhaps he's just cheesed off with not getting a full 90 minutes. Maybe he's on a bonus for playing the full game rather than 60 minutes. But anyway, I'm sure there'll be repercussions, and we'll hear more about that in the days ahead. No.
Yeah, sorry, nice little touch there from Rice while you were saying that. Nice little deft little flick inside to win the ball back. It's now our turn to have a bit of possession and not really sort of do anything with it, I suspect. But Vlasic now is trying at least to make things happen. He's had his shirt pulled off his back there. Noted by Kavanagh, who makes the advantage sign. Ball played down the line now. Well, I don't think he's going to get anything for that, but ball's played down the line towards Bowen, who's switched over to the left. Bowen looking there. Oh, hang on, ref. Bowen's been shoved in the back there. That's either a free kick or a penalty for me. I don't think it's going to be given as such from the original angle. But I don't think VAR is looking at it. But or is it? Dubravka's taken the goal kick, so it was a little bit of a shove there. Let's put it that way. Didn't look at it from the original angle, but there's definitely a shove there, potentially, arguably, in the box. Now, Antonio wins the ball back well on the touchline. Plays a ugly-looking ball into Vlasic, who tries to bring Cresswell in. Yeah. We've still got the ball, but there were two balls there that were kind of behind where you really wanted them to be. But Dawson now now lovely ball down the line. Just again, the fullback, but it's the better of Johnson there.
I'm going to come back quickly to that incident you referred to just a few moments ago. I think it's one of those you can see either way. I mean, first of all, you can make a case that Bowen has definitely been pushed as he's come into the box. He's made that angle run, but then again, I think the way that VAR and the referee would have seen it is that he's essentially just run into the player. But I mean, there's definitely his direction's definitely changed. He's definitely been pushed away from the way he's going. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. It's one of those that I think if you get, you're thanking your lucky stars, wouldn't you? I'm not sure there was enough there for me for the defender to be penalised. But anyway, good to see West Ham getting into those areas at last, because we haven't been doing so far, and we haven't got much time left to do it because we're on 83 and a half minutes now.
We just had a throw in, which was a long throw in taken by
our centre forward.
Yeah, which nothing came of it, and of course it's just prompted a nice bit of time wasting, in inverted commas, cramp from Joe Linton, who sits on his backside for a few seconds. Somebody does that thing he do with the pumping the leg thing, then he gets up. So takes another minute out of the game.
It's quite an interesting one, that, because you saw Thomas Souček well marshalled, and you get the feeling that you got to credit Eddie Howe, I think, for that one, because they've obviously looked at we saw that, didn't we, a couple of times at Leicester last week, where Antonio, played the Rory Delat role, coming out to take those long throw-ins. So I think Newcastle must have looked at that and thought, we're going to make sure that we're not going to give them the opportunity to do that. So I think credit the opposition manager. That's a good bit of tactical work on the training ground anyway to deny West Ham and Souček there. Not good for us, of course.
Yeah, Newcastle are about to make another substitute. Looks like Guimaraes is going to come on. But not yet, because we've got the ball. Vlasic holds the ball well, plays it back to Cresswell. Rice has got no option, though, to go back to Zuma. Zuma's got space in front of him, but only goes so far, then plays it back to Cresswell. Dawson's now isolated on his own, basically kicks it in the touch because, it's stayed in. No, it's just gone out of touch. They played the ball back to Dawson, who was isolated on his own and being closed down. That was not good play from West Ham. So the Brazilian Guimaraes is no, they're still not coming on. Sorry, I thought it was going to come on there, but still not coming on. So we don't know who's coming on for.
Bruno G on the back of his shirt, it seems. Interesting.
Now, nice ball played in, but again, whenever Bowen's on a run, there's two players sort of either side of him blocking him off there, and it's nothing come to it.
You get the feeling that Newcastle are going to be quite happy with this point, now, don't you? The way they're sort of playing right now. The extra defensive midfielder. I think he's a defensive midfielder, isn't he, Guimaraes?
Yeah, I think so.
Going in. So it'd be maybe it'll be a like for like. I don't know. It's we're going to need another one of those last minute goals from West Ham if we're going to take all 3 points here. And quite frankly, you can't say we've really deserved it, can you? Yet again, it's another game that we've really sort of, just not impressed at all. It's just not been good.
Rice goes down left wing, puts the ball into the box. Antonio fields it at the back post. Johnston's on it now. Back to Antonio. It's a good run from Rice down the right wing there. Now, Antonio tries to bulldozer his way through. He almost does so. Oh, now. Ball's in the box. Shot comes in at the edge of the box. It's blocked. Dawson keeps it alive. That heads it wide to Cresswell. Promising position there, but it was a little bit panic station in the Newcastle defence. But attempted little ball there is just poor. We retained possession, but when we're in a good position there, it was a poor ball. Now, Antonio on the right wing tries to take it past 13. Target, of course, but Target just about gets it in. The substitution being made now is Guimaraes is coming on for Willock. So okay. I think we said Guimaraes was defensively minded, didn't we? Yeah. So that's a sort of statement of intent, I suppose, if everyone wanted one. We've got 3 minutes of normal time left anyway. And they're taking their time over the move, as you might expect.
It's going to need something special now to win this game for either side. You get the feeling Newcastle are going to be quite happy, and why not, given their position? They've taken 10 points from the last 12 going into this game, so 11 from 15 would be a fantastic return for them, wouldn't it? Given their
another long throw from Antonio comes to nothing, and Zuma comes across and snuffs out any thought of an attack there, but. And Johnson didn't do Antonio any favours there. Tried to play ball to Antonio, made a complete hash of the pass, which put us in a dangerous position. But Newcastle now taking their time over throw-ins, and as I say, I think they're going to be happier with the point than we are.
Question. Yep. Yeah, it doesn't do West Ham any favours. This, unfortunately, we are desperate to win this game to keep up that European chase, really, because those teams behind us and the games are piling up, aren't they? We really need a win here today, and it's going to need a bit of magic from someone. Not quite sure who. Michail Antonio once again, sort of not really at the races, and to be fair, he's not really been played up front. Jared Bowen's been playing more of that central role, isn't he? I think if you look back at the game, whenever we've been in attack, Antonio drifting out wide. I'm not quite sure what the rationale is behind that, but I'm sure we'll find out in due course. But yeah, it's going to need something special in the final couple of minutes, which is where we are right now.
Long ball played from Johnston. Antonio's control is woeful there. Basically tries to run it off his chest, and it does, and just runs away from it. It's noticeable that we're taking throws as quickly as we possibly can where Newcastle aren't. Let's put it that way. Ball played to Fornals. First touch lets him down a little bit, but he manages to. Well, he's not given a foul for that, surely. Sure, he's given a foul and yellow card for Fornals, who's actually. Let's see. I mean, stretching for it, but no, the guy's. That's not a foul. Firstly, the guy's kind of run into his studs more than anything else. I'm not sure what else Fornals could do there. That was akin to that one who got sent off the other year, where for winning the ball.
It was the centre half whose name's briefly who went. Who's the guy who left last summer?
Yeah, Balbuena.
Of course, Fabian Balbuena.
Yeah. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage, which may be a little bit longer now because I mean, he's caught the guy, yeah, but
his feet are high. They'll say he's not in control of his actions. That's what that's why they've given that one.
Rather than right advice. That's not a foul.
I think.
You wouldn't have lasted 5 minutes if you'd been given a foul.
Well, maybe.
Me neither. And I'm
maybe. But I think he's right. That's a yellow for me all day long. I think you're being a bit harsh there. 5 minutes added on, Gnome. Anyway, so plenty of time to get that goal if we can.
Yeah, and we've just given away a corner. Long ball was played to the back. Nodded on by Woods. Dawson tried to head it back, but it was too far out for Fabianski to save the corner. So, worrying corner now on Newcastle's left, our right. So we need to be on the ball here, which we've not been great from crosses all afternoon, really. Corner taken by Target, outswinger, and Zoomers on the end of that. That's a terrific header. It's lobbed forward again. Johnson gets a little shove in the back. Oh, he's offside as well. So, was it about a policeman getting under? That linesman looks like he's 12. Anyway, nothing came to the corner. They've given Craig Dawson man of the match on the box here, and when we come to doing
didn't he? I mean, it's always the way, isn't it? You score a goal in a crap game, then you get man of the match. I
will issue a dissenting view when we come.
You're going to go for Zuma, aren't you?
He's had a good game. Now,
it's hard to think of anyone who's stood out. Even Declan Rice, who is usually our go-to player in such circumstances.
Rice is on the ball now, right wing though. Rice on the ball, right wing, and wins a throw-in. But again, he's got better, Rice. Now, Fornals plays the ball across. Vlasic plays it back to Cresswell, whose cross is terrible. It gets blocked. Newcastle can bring away. Vlasic has run back 40, 50 yards to win that ball back. I thought he might be given a foul, but Kavanagh just waves the player up and West Ham come away with the ball. But well played Vlasic for making the run in the first place to come all that way back. Zuma played at trouble there, but I thought we were going to come away with the ball, but we don't. We're just coming up to 3 of the 5 extra minutes played. Newcastle pushing forward. It's out wide with Murphy on the left-hand side. But Murphy again plays it back. I think he's mindful of the time, I suppose. Joe Linton now out left. Again, reluctance to try and swing that ball in. And it's all the way back to the halfway line now with Shah, who's got acres to walk into, but now plays the ball out wide. And Cresswell puts a tackle in, kicks the ball against. I'm not quite sure who that is, but that's Kraft, and it comes off Kraft, and Cresswell catches Kraft on the follow through, but Kraft is off the pitch, and Cresswell quite rightly says, "Sorry, he's off the pitch. I'm playing on." Now Bowen gets the better of Target, but it's just gone out. Now Bowen's steady, son, because now Bowen's just been hacked to the floor from Byrne. The ball had gone out for a throw in, and Burns just hacked him down. And Bowen's just, if that had been me, I'd have lost my rag. That's a terrible tackle. I mean, that's just chopped him in half. Now, he's been given a yellow card for that. That ball had been live, it might have been interesting as well. But Bones, quite incensed, and quite rightly so. Yeah. We've got 15 seconds of the time left, and Newcastle are quite happily want to make another substitution to burn that out there. Very happy with the draw. We've got 4 seconds left now.
Oh dear. I mean, surely there's got to be some retrospective action from Cabinet there, regardless of whether the ball's out or not. That's violent foul play.
He got a yellow.
Taking him thigh high, yeah. Oh, he did.
He
I've
not
got that far yet. My stream has been absolutely dreadful this afternoon, and I've not really seen the game at all.
Full time 1-1. Newcastle clearly happier with the point. Neither side really did enough to win it. That's really was. I mean, Byrne did get his yellow card for that, but that was a horrible challenge.
What do we get?
Especially as out of all the players, he was the one who knew it had gone out.
5 yellow cards today, which is something we haven't seen a lot of in recent weeks in West Ham games. But you wouldn't say it was a dirty game. There was a few naughty challenges going around, that's for sure. But anyway, as say, that's the final whistle. It's finished. West Ham United 1, Newcastle United 1. I'm struggling to think of anything to talk about from that game. You've obviously got the 2 goals, but I can't recall being so bored watching a game of football. There was just 2 sides very, very functional. No real skill, not much, no real excitement. I'm quite frankly, I'm glad I'm sitting here watching it and haven't paid a small fortune to, travel to the London Olympic Stadium and watch that, because that was dross for me.
I kind of differ, because my situation is different. I'd give anything to have been there, to be honest, but given my current circumstances, it wasn't going to happen. But still, if nothing else, it gives Norwich and Watford have got a game in hand. It gives them a little bit to aim for at the bottom there. But yeah, you're quite right. It was two sides who really didn't know how to break each other down. I mean, second half, I'm trying to think of any saves.
Well, I'm just quick. I mean, at half time, I reeled off quite a few chances, opportunities, and bits of play that we could look back on. I'm looking at my notes for the second half. There's a block shot here, block shot there, an easy save for Fabianski. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Turgid, dreadful, boring, dull, unentertaining nonsense, quite frankly. And I feel sorry for the people that paid an awful lot of money today, especially those that have travelled 300 miles from the north. Although they're probably quite happy to go back to the northeast with a point, but that was just awful. That's I think we deserve better than that, don't we?
Well, what we said and what we've been saying for 2 seasons now is that, if things are like that, you need someone to do something special to unlock it.
Absolutely.
Where was it?
Well, this is. I mean, we without trying to sound like a broken record. No, we come back to this point each and every week when West Ham have failed to do that. We said it during the game. David Moyes on the bench, 60, 65 minutes, looks around to see, to try and find a game changer. There's just no one there. And, all right, we've done it to death. The fact that the transfer market was the transfer window, was completely wasted.
Yeah.
There was money there to spend. There was opportunity to bring in players, and we haven't done it. And that's what happens. That's the result. The squad is too small. We don't have the options, as we said, to make those necessary changes in the game, and that's the consequence of it. And it's a dreadful game. We've seen the last few weeks. It's not been great. Watford wasn't particularly good. The Leeds game, in the cup wasn't particularly good, even though we won. Norwich again, and it's a shame, isn't it? Because we started this season so well. The football was brilliant last season, the last half of last season. Maybe that's it. Maybe we've just been led to expect too much, perhaps, from this team. And this is more, this is more like the West Ham we're used to, isn't it? It's not the way it's been. Maybe we've just been seeing too much in the last year or so that we're not used to.
I mean, I've been saying this all the way through since our sort of improvement started a few years ago, if you like.
Yeah.
And let's not sort of concentrate and say, "Oh, Champions League, Champions League, Champions League." Let's just go out each game as it comes. I know it's a cliche, but just see where we are. Don't get carried away with it. And that way, if you win a game, you shouldn't get carried away. If you lose a game, you shouldn't overreact that way. But it's a kind of, and this goes back to not just the current owners, previous owners, going back ever since I was a kid, that there was there's a sort of an attitude of what we've got is well, if that's good enough to get to that point, then we only need to sort of add to it and tinker it at the edges, sort of thing. And no, you need to constantly evolve, and we're not doing that. We get to a certain level, and then instead of trying to sort of move on to that level with our signings and all that, we're looking at sort of like maintaining that. And of course, football evolves, football changes, and you go back to when I was a kid, we had more Hurst and Peters in the team, and still never looked like winning a league because we won the odd cup here and there, and the board didn't like spending money. 86, how close can you get to actually, pretty much there, weren't we? And just a little bit of luck, and okay, you get that. Okay, we've had a great season, and there are a squad of ex-players who will dine out on that and do for the rest of their lives, and rightly so. But if you're looking at that, you think, well, what do we need to make that extra push just to get one push further? And the board didn't do that.
No, that's it.
And it's the same now. It's the same now.
Do you know what? Do you know what worries me though? No, is now I'm looking at the league table, and I mean, first things first, we're fifth in the league. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's a really good season for West Ham United. But the problem is now when you look behind us, and you see Arsenal 3 points behind us with 4 games in hand, Wolves 5 points behind us with 3 games in hand, Tottenham 6 points behind with 4 games in hand. With the way they're playing, that's probably not going to be a problem. But we get overtaken by Arsenal and Wolves, then you're down in 7th and you're struggling to qualify for Europe. You've got to say, haven't you? I think you're absolutely right what you say. You've got to take each game as it comes, 1 week at a time, and all that stuff. That's fair and that's sensible. But if West Ham were to finish outside the top 6 this season, is that going to be seen as a failure by the fans and the club?
Certainly, the fans will look at it that way. Whether or not the club will see it as such, I think you could be too phlegmatic about things from that point of view. It reminds me of going back to the Terry Brown days when relegation was was put down to being our turn or something stupid, wasn't it? Was he said?
That's exactly what he put it down. So yeah, it was our turn
yeah.
to be
It maybe it was our turn to go down. You think, no, that's not good enough. You know, you shouldn't be saying, "Oh well, we've been relegated." Oh dear. You should be sort of thinking, well, firstly, what went wrong, and how do we get up, and how do we progress from there? We should always be looking to progress, and I mean, club may say they're looking to progress, and we have, having progressed over the last few seasons, and we have, and no doubt about it. Moyes has done so, as she said, to raise expectancy.
Yeah,
but you don't stop now, and it gets back to the transfer window.
Yeah, well, everything comes back to it, doesn't it? I mean, as much as, and I fear for David Moyes a little bit here, because he's accused, isn't he, sometimes of defending the board when you don't necessarily think that's what he's thinking, because there can't be a single manager in the Premier League that, if they had money to spend, would be happy at not having spent a single penny of it, can there? Especially in our position. And I just fear for him a little bit if the season does peter out and we end up in 7th or 8th, which in any other season, let's get it right, is a good season for West Ham United. But having finished in the top 6 last year and being in a position earlier this year where we were looking good at one stage for a top 4 finish and maybe even threatening those Champions League spots, to kind of fade away in the manner in which we have, and having done so, not having spent a single penny in the transfer market, everyone's, all those fans are going to be saying, well, we told you so. And they're going to be right, aren't they? That's the problem. Yeah.
I mean, I constantly said, and David Moyes has constantly said, there's no point in buying someone unless they're better than what we've got.
Is that right? Is he right to say that?
Well, I it's not entirely sure. I kind of agree. I mean, that's right. Paraphrasing it, and if he means it in a slightly different way, then I apologise. But what he said is something like, that there are players out there, but we don't believe they'll improve the squad. As we've seen, the squad at the moment is not functioning. It's not going out and winning games. It's not there.
We just don't have it, do we? We just don't have sufficient numbers. That's the problem.
Now, are there players out there that you maybe would be hoping to grow into that? I mean, we've all seen players. I mean, none of us want the Sully specials, these unknowns from God knows where in South America, who turn up and nobody knows who they are when they arrive for training. But there must be. Surely there must be players out there that could come in and enrich that squad. I don't accept that there was absolutely nobody out there that could enrich that squad. I mean, we've got one striker still.
Well, I mean, touching on those 2 points you just mentioned.
How many years have we had one striker?
Well, it's 3 years now, isn't it? I think since we last bought one, which is madness, or a first team striker at least. But we were aware, we were made aware that the club made a last ditch bid, should I say? That came out all wrong. A last ditch bid for Duvan Zapata, who is very much a player in that Michail Antonio mould. Strong central striker, 30 years old, very experienced player we've been looking at for 7 or 8 years. We're told that we only moved for him in the last few days of the window. And I guess this is the crux of the argument. He probably isn't better than what we've got in Michail Antonio. However, he's a very similar player to Michail Antonio. And at 65, 70 minutes today, right, you and I and everyone else who was watching could clearly see that Antonio was flagging a little bit, hasn't been at his best in the last few weeks. So he might not necessarily be better than Antonio, but would we not, as a club, be better off bringing on a player like that after 70 minutes just to give the opposition something else to think about, just a slightly different player and a bit of fresh legs? Because we just cannot do that. Moyes has got Yarmolenko, and Yarmolenko is never, he's basically shot. We know this. A wonderful player in his prime. The injury he had here a couple of years ago has done for him at this level. We know that. and so Moyes just doesn't have the option. So the question is, would we have been better off, going for Zapata and maybe moving for him at the start of the window and having him as a backup if, the Nunes or whoever else we were looking at didn't come off? Because it seemed that we were just scrambling for anyone we could get in the last few days. And normally it's paid off. Normally we have one or two players there, don't we, that we can bring in on the last day or so, and it hasn't worked out. But I'm with you. I don't buy that. That's where I disagree with David Moyes, to say that if we're using someone like Zapata as an example, to say that it wouldn't have improved our position by bringing him in. I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think that he would have given us I'm just using that as an example. There could have been a plethora of other players we were looking at, and almost certainly were, that we'll never know about. But, and I worry for Moyes, because I think that, he's going to be criticised. If we do fall outside that top six, everyone's going to look back to the window and say, well, David, you said we were okay, and, it hasn't borne out that way. But the question I really wanted to ask you, Gnome, is this: have we peaked as a team?
We're always saying, and managers say, and owners say, that there comes a time when an owner or a manager sort of will put up his hands and say, I've taken this team as far as I can.
Yeah.
Now, at the moment, we sort of we've hit the wall in marathon terms, haven't we? I mean, and we need to sort of come out of that. But certainly, if it's been a matter of money, where the players that we think would make a difference, we haven't got the money, then the owners have got to put their hands up and say, well, yeah, they've taken us as far as they can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we can't afford to buy better players with these owners, then, by definition, we can't go any further on that.
Yeah. Well, should we be happy with that as West Ham United supporters, knowing that you've got Chelsea, you've got Manchester United, you've got Manchester City, you've got Newcastle now, who are going to be spending vastly, superior amounts in the transfer market over the next few years? Is this the best we can hope for? Just scrambling for, a Europa League spot? And the other question is, of course, is that such a bad thing, given where we've been in the last 10 years?
Well, it's better than where we were for most of the last 10 years, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so are we asking for too much? I guess that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we're then getting into the sort of finances, because increasingly the Premier League and football in general is a case of the top 3 or 4 are going to be owned by either countries, as in the case of Newcastle and Manchester City, or some sort of multinational corporation, as in the lot that own Liverpool and the lot that own Man United, the kind of sports corporations, if you like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're competing against the sort of the money laundry that is Chelsea and the countries that are Man City and Newcastle, it's going to take a phenomenally rich individual to be able to compete on that basis financially. So that's kind of not a function of the current owners, or not a reflection of the owners. I mean, they can only put so much in. But somewhere between what we've got and what these countries owning football clubs have got, there's a step between those two.
Yeah.
And let's hope that the Czech chap, if and when he finally takes over, can actually prove to be that step.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, Kretinsky's already put in 160 million, as we understand, into the club. Unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of that reinvested into the team as yet, but there is, of course, hope that will happen. Soon. The other thing is, I think, Gnome, is there also a danger when you don't invest in a transfer window, you don't enhance and improve your squad. That if you are working with quite a small squad, as David Moyes is at the moment, is there perhaps a reason, or do the players maybe look at that and think, well, even if it's subconsciously think, well, I don't have to give 100% every week now because I know my place is guaranteed. We saw Ben Rama go off today. A little bit of petulance, given that it was his 18th, I think I said, substitution of the season so far. But, again, if you're looking at that, and if Moyes has got another 2 or 3 players of that ilk in that position, Ben Rama's going to be on the bench for a few weeks. But Moyes hasn't got that option now, has he?
No. I mean, Ben Rama was only in today because Lanzini's injured, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure Lanzini would have started. Now he's injured. So, but that's it. There's no competition for places. Yeah. I mean, Antonio had the odd moment today, but he's not been at the best. But he'll be picked next week, no matter how poor a game he's got, because who else are you going to put in? There's no. So similarly, we've got players out of form. Then Royce has got little option but to keep playing them even though they're out of form, because when you'd normally drop someone, you've got no one to drop them for. It's it's a similar situation to my old line on referees, because there's no accountability, nothing happens to them if they mess up. Yeah, they'll get picked next week, and it's the same with players.
Yeah. It is, and you get a bit of complacency. That's I think that's the danger, isn't it? That you don't want those players to become complacent. There's a very inherent danger of them doing that. If, as we said, that you've given the perfect example there is Michail Antonio. No challenge, it doesn't matter. He could play terribly between now and the end of April, but he still knows he's going to be playing at the end of the season because we have no alternatives.
I mean, pretty much
that can't be a healthy situation for any club.
Yeah, with everyone fit, you and I would pretty much, and Moyes would know what our first team would be, what would be picked.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of injuries. We've got Ogbonna out. So that's not a healthy position to be in. But as I say, we've done the reasons for that to death, I think. But
well, this is the thing. As I say, without, you don't want to sound like a broken record, but that's the crux of the matter, isn't it? This is what it comes down to: the fact that we didn't invest in January, and you probably could argue we didn't invest as much as we could have done last summer as well in certain areas. Certainly, the attacking position, the strikers role. What did we say? 3 years, 900 days, isn't it, since we last bought a first team striker? But anyway, look, I think we're going to cut this one there this afternoon because. There's really not a lot to talk about from the game. I think we covered the match itself at half time, didn't we? All the important points. There wasn't really any controversial issues or any real goal scoring opportunities to talk about after the break. So let's end as we always do anyway, on a hopefully slightly optimistic note, by looking ahead to our next game, and that is a massive game for a massive team, because we play Wolverhampton Wanderers next Sunday at the LOS. They're playing really well at the moment, aren't they, Wolves? Doing fantastic.
Yeah. Last game I saw them, saw any of, was actually I didn't really see it. I was listening to the radio. Yeah, I've been shuttling up and down the M3 for the last few weeks. But when they beat Spurs, I was kind of I can't remember. I was listening to another game, but they kept cutting over to the Spurs Wolves game, and it was quite funny anyway, just listening. Has it got any better for Spurs? No. And things like that. So yeah, they're beginning. They had a little bit of a slump really over the last 18 months or so. I think what's his name? Was it? I can't remember the name of the guy who took over at Tottenham when he left.
Espirito Santos.
Yeah, him. Yeah,
that one.
Yeah, the Portuguese Father Christmas, the beard and everything. He'd kind of taken them as far as he could, I think. And
Yeah,
there were
well,
already
that's a good
signs they were
example.
sort of levelling off a bit when Tottenham came in for them. And so, but they're showing signs of getting that old sort of spark that they had when they first came up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think one thing
yeah,
that might help us actually, interestingly, I'm just looking at the fixture list. They play Leicester at home today, which would be a very interesting game. They win that, then they're really putting the pressure on us for that 6th, 7th spot. They've got they play on Thursday night, which I wasn't aware of until I just looked at the fixture list. They've got to go to Arsenal on Thursday, so one would presume that they would travel down to London maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and stay down
yeah.
for the Sunday game. But that's definitely going to affect them. You'd think in terms of fatigue and playing just 72 hours before they cut us. So maybe if we're looking for slivers of things to grab onto, maybe that's one of them.
Yeah. And again, I mean, we've had a few sort of games where we played sort of Sunday, Thursday, Sunday again, and that sort of thing. Where it does. When you're winning every week, you probably don't notice it. But
yeah,
when you're not winning every week, you do feel the little aches and twinges and stuff like that. And so yeah, I mean, we'll have a week off. We can sort of iron a few wrinkles. Hopefully, we can get Lanzini back.
Yes,
because I mean, we've now got this position where we've mentioned lack of depth, lack of options. That Moyes will be forced to have to potentially start with Ben Rama if Lanzini's not fit. But we've got to start playing better soon anyway. So
yes, yeah. I mean, it's getting beyond a joke now, isn't it? We've just not really been at the races. I mean, we mentioned Christmas, and I think that's probably fair, but we're nearly sort of halfway between Christmas and the end of the season now, given that we're approaching the end of February. So we need to pick up that form pretty soon. Unfortunately, we didn't today, but it was a pretty droll game, all in all. I think we've covered everything, haven't we, today? I don't think there's an awful lot more that we can discuss as far as today's game goes. How do you see, just out of interest, how do you see that one going today, Wolves against Leicester?
Depends which Leicester turn up. If Leicester first half turn up from last week, then Wolves will have a field day. Leicester second half from last week turn up, then it'll be I could see Leicester nicking it, to be honest. But Leicester sort of obviously we saw how inconsistent they were over the course of 2 halves, last week. So who knows? But let's hope Leicester can do us a favour.
Yeah,
Stephanie, my mate Stephanie, get her to do us a favour.
Come on, Steph, do us a turn. We certainly need it after that today. Well, we are going to leave it there anyway. We're probably cutting it a little shorter than we usually do in our post-match chat. As I said, probably not an awful lot. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. A sigh of relief from everyone watching on the live stream. Thanks to everyone for joining us today. As always, enjoyed reading your comments, as we always do. Also to everyone joining in on the KUMB.com forum match thread. Get yourself over there. Have your say if you can find a few lines or even a paragraph or two to write about today's game, because there wasn't much to get excited about. But one thing, we never did see the replay of that Bowen shot, did we? To see whether Dubravka got a palm on it or not.
No, so, we'll never know. I'll go and rewind it later on.
Yeah, maybe match of the day will reveal all later on if anyone can be. I'm not sure I can bother to watch that again, even if it was us. I think it's gonna be a terrible game to knock us off of the last spot in
bottom spot.
after what we've seen today. But anyway, let's look at the positives. Let's end on a positive note. Another point for West Ham as we look to try and qualify for Europe for a second successive season. Not the result we wanted ideally, but 4 points out of 6 against Newcastle this season. It's probably a decent return given what we've got over them off them over the years. So I suppose it's not bad. It could have been a lot worse. And I've got to say, finally, no, you called it right. You went for 2-2, but you got the draw right. So kudos for that one. And I was going to go for a draw. You nicked that one off me anyway, but no, you get the points this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you go. So that's it from us. Thank you, as I say, for joining us on the live stream. Get yourselves on over to the KUNB.com forum to continue the chat and also talk about all the other games that are taking place. We are off for the week. Next game, as we said, next Sunday at the London Olympic Stadium. No might be with us. He might not next week. We don't know, depending on the situation. But wishing the best of luck to Gnome Senior once again.
Just it's up to Dad.
Yeah, exactly. I've just got to say, no, there was a comment that made me chuckle last week before we do go about your stairs behind you. Someone said said they look like a bar of chocolate.
Toblerone or something like that, yeah.
Or a Kit Kat, yeah, a long Kit Kat or something like that, which made me laugh. But
it's not coming over, but the carpet's sort of dark red, almost like a light claret colour, shall we say? So, but yeah, on the thing it does look a bit darker. It does look. So
you haven't been nibbling at it since that was mentioned last week, then?
No.
Good stuff. All right,
crawling up it a little bit.
Well, there you go. That's it from us. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you all again very soon on KUNB TV's Eyes Up Mother Brown from me and Gnome. Thanks for joining us. Until next week.
Cheers, everyone.
Come on, you eyes.